Louisville, home of the best scrapper, also home of the best rapper. Flow dapper, here's another chapter. Ride through, attack you, ride away your laughter. This is what I'm after, blowing on that rapper. Purple Dro, keep a bunch to blow. I don't serve it though, murder flow. If it goes down, I'm the first to know. Y'all niggas late, like the Coney show. Overdose, overload, sharp flow, leave him with the open throat. Lewis Keys, cool as Nova Scotia snow. Puff a blunt, poke a hole, nigga, you supposed to know. Lewis Keys, blowing blunts on the open road. Fuck a cop, fuck a speed limit, drive overdose. Keep a bad bitch, hips wide like Oprah's nose. And you know that I'm a fool, my freestyle's wet, I'm floating in the pool. You should pay your tuition, you're going to my school. Principal keys, you niggas getting held back. Fuck them little sacks, you can have your bread back. No refund, well here the G's come. Hit your ass up, leave you with your fucking head crack.
Louisville, Kentucky, 502. Louisville, Kentucky, 502. Louisville, Kentucky, 502. Louisville, Kentucky, 502. Louisville, Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, 502. Louisville, Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, 502.
Louisville, Kentucky, 502. That's where I'm from, player, how about you? I'm from the city where the hate is familiar. I'm from the city where the haters will kill ya. I'm from the city where they like to gamble. Dice game, get robbed, niggas to scramble. Head for the hills, nigga, duck and dive. No bullshit, no shuck and jive. I know a lot of guys got shot and died. A lot of good guys didn't see 25. Recognize it's a blessing being alive. Heading to the park, I'm on the passenger side.
Yo. What's cracking, everybody? What's cracking? Make sure the sound's good. Make sure everybody can hear me. Got a little new news for you for the day, man. Been a little while. Tapping back in, see what everybody's up to. Make sure y'all hit that like button, Pacquiao, that like button for me, man. Just came through to drop some new news and see what's cracking with everybody, man. Let everybody know what's going on with the potential Pacquiao Garcia fight, the potential Pacquiao Crawford fight, and just some all around boxing news, man. You know, get into the boxing talk for the day, man. Trying to get back on it. Been doing a lot of things, man. Getting a lot of stuff together. Really want to expand the channel, man. So sorry you guys gotta wait, but it's just me. So when I gotta take care of something, I gotta get it done, man. Gotta get it done. What's good with everybody though? Drop me some comments, man. Let me know who's in here. Appreciate that one like, man. Get them likes up. We got 6 people in here, man. Let's get them likes up so we get more people in on the convo. Alright, so ran into some articles today. Scrolling through some articles, man. Got to get back on getting my boxing news stuff together. And believe me, I'm going to be back on it really soon here, man. Full time. So get ready for that. But ran into some articles today. Give everybody a second to get in here. See if we can get up to about 8 people before I get started, man. Good to see everybody. Drop me some comments. Let me know who's in here, man. Went and got some stuff made today for the channel. Been trying to get some stuff made for the channel. Been trying to get some personal stuff done, and went and got some stuff made for the Ali Lamb Boxing Talk Cardinal Red brand. I'm gonna show y'all here in a second, and but I think we're gonna get into the boxing talk first, man. All right, man. Let's get ready to get going. We got 7 people in here, man. Make sure y'all Pacquiao that like button if I may. Hook it, jab it, uppercut it. So let me know y'all in here and drop me a comment, man, so we can shout you out and read your comment. See what you're thinking about the Pacquiao upcoming fight. We do know he's fighting somebody. We just don't know who yet, man. So let's get into it. So this article comes from The Sun. And the title of the article is Manny Pacquiao admits he is leaning towards Mikey Garcia fight, but confirms Terence Crawford talks are ongoing. Now, I know everybody's been saying that the Mikey fight is set in stone. You know, that's the fight that's going to happen. It could potentially happen. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but I would say Manny Pacquiao wants that Terence Crawford fight. I don't think he's trying to wait. I don't think he's trying to waste anybody's time. I think he's really negotiating hard for that Crawford fight. And I simply say that because I think he would have given up on it already and just went ahead and announced the Mikey fight if he wasn't still pursuing the Terence Crawford fight. Like I said, not saying Mikey can't get the fight. I feel like it's not that good of a fight. It's a good tune-up, but not a good fight for fans. You know, not the legacy fight fans were looking for when they heard Pacquiao announce that he was coming back to the ring. But, you know, let me get into this article, man. Appreciate all 6 people for tuning in. Make sure y'all Pacquiao that like button to fight Matt. If you're a Crawford fan, you can run from it. If you're a Spence fan, you can elbow it and knee it. I just play it. Hit that like button for me. Alright, so Manny Pacquiao admits he is leaning towards fighting Mikey Garcia, but confirms talks with Terence Crawford are ongoing. The Filipino icon is yet to return since dethroning Keith Thurman of the WBA welterweight title in July of 2019. But due to inactivity and amid the virus, Pacquiao was stripped of the belt. It led him to target unbeaten WBO champion Terence Crawford, 33, following Sun Sports revealed that the pair had a deal in place last year. But now Pac-Man 42 has said Garcia 33 is the front runner to face him and ensured fans he has kept in shape since his last fight by playing basketball. Pacquiao told ABS-CBN, "We are leaning towards Mikey, but we're also talking to Crawford. It depends on who I get to face. What's important." I don't know why they put it like that. It depends on who I get to face. What's important is I'm ready. We never really got complacent. We've always consistently worked out. We keep on playing basketball aside from boxing. We all know Manny Pacquiao is a huge basketball fan. He always runs. He's always playing basketball to stay, keep his weight even. You know, basketball is a runner sport. So when you run a lot, your metabolism is probably pretty high. You burn off a lot of calories really fast. It allows you to stay in better shape, keep your joints and all your muscles active and in great shape. So I don't think there should be a doubt in anybody's mind that Manny Pacquiao is going to come in the best shape this version of Manny Pacquiao could be. Actually, right after my fight the last time with Thurman, I didn't work out boxing, but I kept playing basketball. Pacquiao, who has won titles in a record 8 divisions, was in line to fight UFC star McGregor, 32, this year. But McGregor, who lost in his boxing debut to Floyd Mayweather in 2017, was dramatically beaten by Dustin Poirier in UFC return in January. He got mollywopped, man. He got his A beat. Straight up. NL, what's good? What's good with you, bro? Appreciate you for coming through, man. Alright, so let me move on. Yeah, he got his A beat. The Irishman who knocked out Poirier 32 in 2014 is now set for a summer trilogy bout with his mega money boxing return shelved. Pacquiao had planned to donate some of the proceedings to help fight the effects of the C virus, but the boxing legend set to run in the 2022 Philippines presidential election has vowed to continue aiding his compatriots. Pacquiao said, "We will keep on giving. We will continue to help as much as we can, even if it's just in a small way. I would love to be able to help everyone out, but our resources are limited, so we do the best that we can. No problem. That the only thing that I can assure the people of is that as long as I can help, I will help to the best of my abilities." You know, we always know Pacquiao's gonna look out for his people, but you know, I don't like the Mikey Garcia fight at all. I know a lot of people say it's the perfect tune-up. Me personally, I just don't feel like he should waste his time unless he's insured a Earl Spence fight in September or a Terence Crawford fight in September. Because, I mean, it could end up going like this. He could end up fighting Mikey and then end up fighting another nobody in September, or maybe even Conor McGregor in September as the retirement fight. And I kind of feel like he'd be going out almost like Floyd Mayweather did, you know. And I don't want to see that for Pacquiao. I think he's a warrior, man. And he should go out on the Warriors, what they like to call over in the UK, shield. Like, go out on your shield. But not meaning that he should go get knocked out, but he should go out with the best fight. He should go out swinging and against the best opponents. You know, that's me personally. I would rather see him go against the best than to just cherry pick a fight just to get a fight. You know, I don't want to see him cherry pick just to be cherry picking, man. What's up, Pac? Pac, hit that like. Y'all Pacquiao that like button for Pac, man. That might be the real Pacquiao. Y'all never know. Much props to Pac-Man. 2-pack for life. Straight up, man. Straight up. Y'all hit that like button for me, man, so we can get some more people in the chat, man. Please. Thank ya. But, you know, the article was pretty short, but they basically, you know, they gave the gist of what's going on. And basically what's going on is Pacquiao's negotiating with both those camps. I guess if the Crawford fight is too much, we're not going to see the Crawford fight happen. You know, if the Mikey Garcia fight is easier to make and Pacquiao feels like that's the direction he needs to go in, that's the fight we're going to get. I will watch it. I wouldn't pay for the Mikey Garcia fight. I would watch it. I definitely wouldn't pay for it. Would stream it. You know, I support Pacquiao, and I'll cover the fight. Probably do it live. But, you know, I would much rather be doing a lead up to a Terence Crawford fight and covering a Terence Crawford fight live. And, you know, getting the excitement of, you know, Pacquiao win, lose, or draw, facing off with the best competitor he can get put in the ring with. And I'm still wondering why we haven't heard a word from Earl Spence Jr. or Yadanius Ugas. I don't get it. I'm not sure. It's got to be something going on in the background we're just not privy to, because it's really crazy that he's this silent. Like, at what point do you hear about a boxer who could potentially be making, you know, upwards of $10 million not chasing that fight? You know, that would be the biggest, I think, one of the biggest paydays of Spence Jr.'s career too. You know, he would get a huge payday off of taking on Pacquiao. So I'm not sure why we haven't heard anything from Spence. I'm not sure why we haven't heard anything from you guys. We even heard from, it's crazy, we heard from guys like Mikey, we heard from guys like Ryan, we've heard from Thurman. You know, we heard from a few fighters from the lower classes. But you don't hear about, you know, the best guys out there. You know, Porter's not really calling Pacquiao out. Spence is not calling Pacquiao out. And, you know, Crawford wants to fight him, but is this fight actually going to happen? Do they feel like Crawford can draw in enough pay-per-view buys? Because I think that might be a problem. That might be what's holding this back, is maybe the investors feel like they're not going to recoup their money off a Crawford fight. I'm pretty sure they would off a Spence fight, but I don't know about a Crawford fight. You know, I feel like it would be a good fight, and I think people would pay for it if the Thurman fight was able to do, what did it do, like 400 or 500,000 buys. I don't see why Terence Crawford Pacquiao fight wouldn't do at least the same or better. But you know, it is what it is at this point. XXX PAC says PAC will beat both Bud and Spence. He will shock the world again. I hope he gets the opportunity, man. I hope we don't get shafted, so to speak, with his next fight. You know, I have been calling for a tune-up, but this ain't the tune-up I wanted to see at all. You know, I feel like if you're going to tune up, go after you guys so you can at least get the belt back. You know, if you beat him, you at least get something out of it. With Mikey, you don't really get anything out of tuning up with Mikey Garcia, except for saying you fought Mikey Garcia. I don't really get what he gets out of that fight. But if he fought you guys, he would definitely get something out of that victory. Maybe he feels like you guys is too big at this point. I don't know. But like I said, that still could be other things going on in the background. Pacquiao still has his what do you call it? He's still appealing the WBA's decision, so we don't know what's going on with that. Maybe that has something to do with why he potentially might choose Mikey. Still not set in stone, but it could be a reason why he could potentially choose Mikey. I just hope it don't happen. Let's see. PAC says Eddie Hearn has the money. Which is true. I think Eddie Hearn probably does have the money to put up. And I forgot Mikey Garcia is not with PB. Mikey Garcia is not with PBC. Mikey Garcia, I think, is with... Actually, I think he's independent, but he uses the zone to distribute his fights or something like that. I think he's independent. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Is Mikey Garcia independent and the zone just distributes his fight, or does he actually have a contract with the zone? Bob stingy on his money. It's not really Bob Arum, you know. I don't think it's not Bob Arum at this point. Bob Arum already said that he wouldn't be promoting the fight. He would just be a facilitator for ESPN, I guess, distributing the fight. The actual promoters would be the investment group that's in the Middle East. So they're the only ones holding up the fight. I guess, you know, it's up to them to decide whether Pacquiao gets that money or not. It's not up to Bob Arum to decide what's going on with the money. He's not promoting the fight. PAC, I told you before, bro, Spence is scared because he's not chasing the fight. He's not even making a noise. I mean, that is true. It's weird that he's not saying anything. I would have, when Pacquiao first came out and said that there was a $50 million deal on the table, I would have expected Spence to come out and at least say, hey, hold on, why am I not being offered this fight when I'm sitting right here next to you under the same banner? Why are you going to Terence Crawford? It has to be some reason for that. You know, we haven't heard Al Heyman say anything about it. Haven't heard anything from Spence. Haven't heard anything from PBC, basically, other than them saying they're trying to put a mega event together with Pacquiao's name headlining. So I don't get what's going on with the whole Spence situation. Maybe he feels like he is a step slower and Pacquiao's a threat. Other than that, I can't really place my finger on why he's not saying anything. Or Udanius, you guys, for that matter. Why isn't you guys, if Mikey Garcia can get a Pacquiao fight, why can't Udanius, you guys, get a Pacquiao fight? Let's be honest, Mikey Garcia is not that much more famous than Udanius, you guys, and you guys actually holds a belt. So I'm kind of dumbfounded on what's really going on here. My opinion has always been, since they took the belt from Pacquiao, that they're going to try to freeze Pacquiao out of any more championship fights, because he basically ruined Keith Thurman's career. Keith Thurman was on the upswing. He was supposed to be the next big thing at welterweight, and when he fought Pacquiao, you haven't heard anything from Keith Thurman since he fought Pacquiao. Let's not kid ourselves here. everybody keeps saying Pacquiao been out for a year and a half. Well, where has Keith Thurman been? And he's half Pacquiao's age. So, you know, I feel like if he don't get a Crawford fight, if he don't get a Spence fight, if he don't get a you guys fight now, he's not getting any more championship fights. They're not going to let him fight for another title belt and hold and do what fans feel like he's doing and holding up these divisions. I just don't feel like, I feel like that's the reason, to me, behind the scenes of why we're not hearing from Spence, we're not hearing from you guys, and potentially this Terence Crawford fight could fall apart for some reason. If it falls apart, then there's really something shady going on in the background, because that's way too much money for any promoter to be turning down. For a fighter who's only made $5 million his whole career, on the high end, to be offered $10 million and then the fight not happen is it's almost unheard of. Let me get back to the chat here. Tax Tech are sure that Bud is still Manny's first choice. Rumors are Mikey is number one charge. Listen, Mikey might be the fight that happens. That don't mean that was Pacquiao's choice. It means that he couldn't make the Crawford fight. It doesn't mean that he's like, well, I'm choosing Mikey Garcia because that's a better fight for me. If he doesn't fight Terence Crawford, there's a reasoning behind it. It has nothing to do with Mikey Garcia being a better fight, or the fight being Mikey Garcia being more lucrative, or even a challenge. I don't feel like Mikey Garcia is even a challenge for Pacquiao at this point, which is why I can't really give this whole Mikey Garcia fight even a real thought. You know, I don't even want to cover it because it's ridiculous to me at this point. You know, Mikey Garcia has been out for almost a year. You know, when's the last time he fought? He's ballooned up all that weight, and, you know, I feel like there's just better competition for Pacquiao out there. You know, if you can't make a Crawford fight, you can still make a fight with Sean Porter, which would be a tremendous fight. You know, and I'm pretty sure you could get Sean Porter to do that fight for $3 million, easy. And if he can offer Terence Crawford 10, why can't Sean Porter get $3 million? It's a way better fight than Mikey Garcia. I'm sorry for any Mikey Garcia fans out there who might be listening, but to be honest, Sean Porter's a way better fight than Mikey Garcia. If you can't get the Sean Porter fight where you got your Danish, you guys out there, it's a way better fight than Mikey Garcia. These guys are proving themselves at welterweight. This is my problem with the Mikey Garcia fight. He's not proven at welterweight. All he's done is fight 2 welterweight fights. He lost one. He won one against mediocre competition. He was great at the lower weights, but he's not that same fighter at 147 pounds. Why is Pacquiao skipping over, you know, solidified 140-pound fighters to go fight Mikey Garcia? I don't get it. Personally, I'm kind of disappointed in Manny Pacquiao, to be completely honest with you. If that fight happens, I'll be highly disappointed in Pacquiao, only because I feel like he can get a better tune-up. If you're expecting to fight either Crawford or Spence in September and your plan is to have a tune-up, there are better tune-ups out there than Mikey Garcia. And I don't understand why he wouldn't take the better tune-ups over a Mikey Garcia fight. Because Mikey Garcia he brings nothing to the table. He brings nothing to the table that prepares Manny Pacquiao for Spence or Crawford. So it's kind of a pointless. It's a pointless fight to me, if you ask me. But you know, hey, if you're a Mikey Garcia fan, more power to you. You was right. He might fight Mikey Garcia. Let's see here. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. I lost myself in the chat, man. Okay, here we are. Pac says, he's with Eddie. Okay, so he is with Eddie Hearn. So he does have a contract with Eddie Hearn. I don't really keep up with Mikey Garcia. I know he had a problem with Bob Arum. Then I thought he was with PBC, but I guess he was never signed with PBC. So it's interesting that he is with Hearn. I mean, I agree with you. Eddie Hearn definitely has the money to make that fight happen easily, and it would promote the zone pretty well, and the zone could distribute the fight, and that would be the only reason that fight would happen is, because the zone has its own platform, and Pacquiao wouldn't have to deal with all the trying to negotiate the TV deals and all that type of stuff. But I would be highly disappointed if he fought Mikey Garcia. Manuel Amara, any update to Top Rank camp? Could they produce the $50 million if not PAC versus Mikey in May? I don't know why everybody keeps asking if Top Rank and Bob Arum they don't have to come up with the money. We talked about this several times already. It's not up to Bob Arum or Top Rank or Crawford or anybody over there to come up with the money. Bob Arum himself already said Pacquiao has a team of investors in the Middle East with the $50 million. They already have the money. Crawford's agreed to the fight. Bob Arum's agreed to the terms. Pacquiao's agreed to the terms. The problem is, to me, is whether they feel like they can get their money back. Do they have a venue, and is it going to be open by the time the fight should happen? America's talking about opening back up fully in May. Some states have already went maskless, so it's going to be interesting how this all plays out. Now, I'm not saying that the fight's not going to happen. It could still happen. Either one of those fights, the Garcia fight or the Crawford fight. But I would really, really, really like to see him fight Terence Crawford more than I would like to see him. Way more than I would like to see a Mikey Garcia fight. I would like to see Pacquiao face off with a lot more people other than Mikey Garcia. But it could go that way. I mean, it's a decent fight, but I don't feel like I said, it tunes him up for Earl Spence or Terence Crawford. I don't get the choice of Mikey Garcia. Other than what PAC's been saying about Eddie Hearn and the money. I get that. Eddie Hearn has the money. But maybe that's the problem. Maybe PBC doesn't have the money to pay Pacquiao what he wants at this point. Maybe they just don't have the funds to say, hey, we can put him up against Earl Spence and pay Pacquiao what he wants and pay Spence what he wants. That might be the problem at the moment for the Spence fight. It might not be the problem in September because everything could be open back up by the time September rolls around. But that could potentially be the problem with the Spence fight. But I don't see why that would stand in the way of a Porter fight, or why that Porter doesn't have anything coming up. He's negotiating with Crawford himself. So you would think he would, Pacquiao would be looking at that as a potential fight. Like I said, even Yordanius You Guys, I don't understand why Yordanius You Guys is not being mentioned at all, for Pacquiao. NL, Manny knows what he's doing. He ruined AB and Thurman's career. I think fans have been impatient to see the good fights because nobody has really fought because of the Manny will I don't know what you're trying to say. Ready to go. I guess you were trying to say restart. Restart. Ready to go. I don't know. But I appreciate that comment. Just smash the like button. Appreciate that, man. Ryan Lamb, PAC Garcia fight more broke than 4 flats on a Cadillac. Hey, man, I don't get this fight at all, man. Nobody's going to buy this fight except for hardcore Manny Pacquiao fans and hardcore Mikey Garcia fans. It's going to be a disaster for Pacquiao. As far as, people going to clown him for this fight. As far as, people that don't like him already, they're really going to clown him about this fight. And then the fact that it's gonna have really sad pay-per-view buys behind it, it makes whatever his next fight look bad. It just makes it look bad to me. He should be building up to a way bigger event to close his career, and this is not a good start if it ends up being Taco Garcia, man. It's just not a good start with Taco, man. I don't think it is. NL Mikey Garcia said Pacquiao fight was in the works in the last few years, but see happened too. You know what? And here's something interesting. When Mikey Garcia first said that the Pacquiao fight was going to get announced, and that he said last week the same way that Bob Arum said. He said almost the exact same thing that Bob Arum said. The fight is in the works. We'll have all the details by the end of the week. The end of the week came and went. And we still ain't got no details about the Terence Crawford fight or the Mikey Garcia fight. We just got Mikey Garcia hyping the heck out of the fight, and Manny Pacquiao saying, yeah, we're negotiating with him. Now, it's interesting that, he didn't get slapped like Ryan Garcia did with a cease and desist order. So we know the talks are real because there's no cease and desist order. But, hey, we don't know if that's the fight that's going to happen just yet. So, all right, man. So, I told you I was going to show y'all some stuff that I was getting together for the channel, man. And I want to take a second out and I'm going to do a throwback, man, real fast to the big homie, Caps and Full G, the way he had to say about Mikey Garcia. And then I'm going to show y'all what I just got done for the channel, man. So, y'all check that out real fast. I'll be right back.
What up? I ain't going nowhere. I'm here, man. I just took some time off. I just want to, listen to the buffoonery that's going on. We back to Mikey now, right? Okay, so you know how I feel about this Mikey fight from my last videos. I never liked this fight. You know what I'm saying? Well, at the time when it was, let me get a seat, man. Let me get a seat. How do I feel? At one time, I did not want this fight with Mikey because after Keith Thurman, there was no reason to have a Mikey fight. It was just, let's go straight into a Bud Crawford or Errol Spence fight, okay? But now things changed, things rearranged. I feel now that I'm reneging, it's because time has lapsed, time has went by, and I feel like Manny Pacquiao deserves a touch-up, a tune-up. And respectively, I think that Mikey Garcia is the one to do this with.
All right, y'all. So, I had to grab something real fast, man. So, let y'all check out Caps in Full G, man, what he had to say about the Pacquiao fight a few days ago. He has some pretty interesting things to say, man. He has a great opinion about boxing, and he does wonderful boxing talk. So, y'all go check out Caps, man, whenever y'all get a chance. But, I just got these, found somebody to press me up some shirts for the channel, man. So I just wanted to show y'all the shirts I got pressed up for the channel, man. And I might give one of them away. I might get some pressed up and give them away. So I got red and black. So they were pretty cool. So I might actually get some of them pressed up and give them away here soon. And then I got this too. So I probably got to stand up for y'all to see it. So I got this. And then you got the logo on the back. So yeah, man. Depending on how things go, I might actually get some of them pressed up and try to give them out to I gotta figure out how I would do it. If it would be like a top fan or a top commenter, or just whoever's supporting the channel the most. I'll figure out some way of giving one of those, maybe one hoodie and one T-shirt out for the next Pacquiao fight, whether it's the Mikey Garcia fight or it's the Terence Crawford fight. If it's the Terence Crawford fight, I get 2 hoodies and give out 2 hoodies and 2 T-shirts. If it's the Mikey Garcia fight, I might just give out a T-shirt and a hoodie. Y'all let me know what y'all want on the front of it. If y'all want this picture of Pacquiao or another one. But it would definitely have the Ali Land Boxing Talk and the Cardinal Red logo on the back of it, man. So let me get back into the chat real fast. See what y'all talking about. Pac, to be honest, bro, I won't be surprised if he fight Mikey next. It's a tune-up fight. Last fight, that's the first time I've seen Pac-Man got tired ever. His skill is there, but his stamina is not what it used to be. Everybody keeps saying that about the Thurman fight. I don't feel like he gassed out in the Thurman fight. I feel like he turned it off in the Thurman fight. I feel like he was up so far on the scorecards, he really didn't have to do a lot, as far as trying to knock Thurman out. He was already up. All he had to do was maintain for the rest of the fight, and I feel like that's what he did. And as long as Thurman didn't land anything really big, he just kind of coasted through the fight. I don't understand why people say he gassed out. I don't feel like he gassed out in that fight, but it's an interesting perspective. Maybe I need to watch it again, and just see what you guys are alluding to as far as him gassing out. Pac says, so it makes sense for him to test the water first to see where he's at. I mean, I understand that, and I've been saying that for a while, that he needs a tune-up. I just don't get why it's Mikey Garcia. There are better tune-ups out there than Mikey Garcia. There are better boxers who prepare him for a fighter like Earl Spence or a fighter like Mikey Garcia. A tune-up fight is supposed to be to prepare you for something in the future. I don't understand what Mikey Garcia does that prepares him for Terence Crawford or Earl Spence Jr. He doesn't fight like either one of those guys. He's not built like either one of those guys. So I don't understand why people think this is a good tune-up. To me, Jordanius, you guys, is the complete opposite. He's built like Earl Spence Jr. He doesn't move like Terence Crawford, but he really does mimic Earl Spence Jr. very well. His body style, the way he fights a little bit. He's not as talented as Spence, but does pack a punch. So I feel like that's a better fit for a tune-up because he's beatable, but he mimics those guys. So I would feel like you would use him to mimic those guys. I could be wrong, though. It is what it is. NL Red, you got to cover it, bro. We boxing fans, no matter what. You have a point, but Pac-Man is getting in the ring. I don't see Crawford or Spence active at all. I mean, I'll cover it, man. I'll definitely do the fight, but I probably won't do as much content as I was planning on doing around that Crawford fight or that Spence fight. Just to be honest with you, I don't want to waste my time on Mikey Garcia, and here's another thing. What if Mikey Garcia beats Manny Pacquiao? That just kills everything. This is why this fight is completely ridiculous. Because if he actually does pull it off and beat Pacquiao, it just destroys anything Pacquiao's trying to do in the future. If he got beat by Terence Crawford, depending on how he got beat, he could still set up something for September, depending on who the opponent is. But if he goes in and gets knocked out by Mikey Garcia, who's gonna want to see Manny Pacquiao fight again after that? So it's almost as dangerous as Crawford fighting Manny Pacquiao, because if Crawford loses, then there goes his career. So in the same fashion, if Manny Pacquiao loses to Mikey Garcia, there goes the rest of Pacquiao's career. Nobody's gonna want to tune in to the next fight. It's gonna be horrible if he loses. XXX says Mikey just a tune-up PAC to fight Crawford. I mean, but like I said, I just touched on that, so we'll go from her. Virgil Andreas, Bud will get $10 million if he fight Pacquiao. How about Mikey? How much will he get? It's gonna be interesting to see what the if this turns out to be the fight, what his split is actually gonna be. If he gets somewhere around $10 million, I'm gonna really be disappointed. If they give him $10 million to fight Pacquiao, I'm gonna be really teed off, man, because that means that money. That means Pacquiao still got his money, and basically he still got probably somewhere around the $30 to $40 million, and they could have just easily given that to Crawford or Spence. So I would be highly peed off if that's the case. Let me see. Okay, and then Mikey says he betting two. Yeah, I heard that he's betting $2 million on himself to beat Pacquiao. I would bet $2 million on Mikey Garcia to eat 15 tacos in 30 minutes, but I wouldn't bet that much on Mikey Garcia to beat Manny Pacquiao at all. Manuel Amara, Pac-Man needs a tune-up fight. He is in 2 years layoff. Mikey is just perfect guy for Coach Freddie, but Mikey is always very durable opponent. Spence did not knock him down. May 29 in Vegas, but he didn't look good at all against Spence. He didn't really look good at all against Jesse Vargas, and he's been off for almost 2 years, and he's been eating tacos the whole time. So it's just a horrible fight all around. It could end up making him look old. It could really end up making Pacquiao look old, facing off against a slow, overweight, weight drained Mikey Garcia. It's sounding really bad, man. It's sounding like this is gonna turn out really bad. NL, that's cool, Red. Appreciate it. Make a boxing tournament and the winner gets those goodies. Would be interesting, man. Would be interesting. Ain't Tez 350. His big. He said his meat. I ain't even gonna repeat what he said. Oh man, 8 357. You're a real one, I guess. I don't know, man. What's good? Appreciate the comment, but it ain't gonna get shown. It's not a good tune-up, but money talks though. Mikey does remind me of Marquez though. Marquez was never 180 pounds though. This is what y'all forgetting. Marquez was always in really pretty good shape. Marquez has always been in pretty good shape. He's a good boxer. I don't take nothing away from Juan Manuel Marquez. He's a good boxer. He's always in shape, and he brings the fight to Manny Pacquiao. He brought the fight to Manny Pacquiao. Mikey Garcia has been off for almost 2 years. He ballooned up to 180 pounds. He's gonna lose basically 40 pounds in less than 3 months to fight Manny Pacquiao. Y'all saw what Adrian Broner looked like when he lost 40 pounds for his last fight. So you're gonna get a similar fight out of Mikey Garcia, if you ask me. I could be wrong. Mikey Garcia might surprise me. He's young, and he might be in better shape. He might be able to bounce back a little faster. He might be stronger since he was since he was carrying all that weight. But let's be honest, when they lose that type of weight that fast, they don't ever look good going into their next fight. It just doesn't happen. But it is what it is. Mr. Transfer BR3, what's good? What's up? Red, what's good with you, bro? In there, do you think Danny Garcia was good tune-up for Spence? Danny Garcia has lost against all the top-level guys in that division. But who was Spence tuning up for? That's the question. Like, who was he tuning up for? Was he tuning up for Pacquiao? And here's the thing: if he doesn't fight Pacquiao this year, it wasn't a good tune-up because I mean it would have just been a wasted tune-up because he didn't end up fighting Pacquiao. So what? I mean, Rondo Pacquiao versus Crawford. Let's go, man. I hope that's what we get. But it's looking ugly, man, at this point for some reason. I don't know why it's looking like this, why it's going, the negotiations are going in this way, but they're going in this way, and this guy kind of live with it, man. This guy deal with it and live with it. Karoom. Really, I heard Pac said that said the Mikey fight is most likely first. He didn't actually say it's first. He said that might be the next fight. It's not because he wants that fight. It's because the Spence fight just couldn't happen. You know, the negotiations, but they're still negotiating. So the negotiations technically haven't fallen apart yet. But don't feel like we're getting a Mikey Garcia fight because that's who Manny Pacquiao wants to fight. If you get a Mikey Garcia fight, it's simply because the money and it's easy to make. It has nothing to do with that's who he wants to. To me, I don't feel like that's who he wants to fight, but it might be who he ends up fighting at the moment. I hate it. I hate the fact that might be who he ends up fighting at the moment. We got 20-something people in the chat right now, man. Y'all take some time, man. Pacquiao that like button for me. Hook it, jab it, uppercut it, man, so we can get more people into the chat. You know, we can get it shared out a little bit more. Adam M, what's good with you, bro? Bro, remember I told you don't get your hopes up. LOL, I knew Pac Bud wasn't happening. I mean, it's not over yet, fam, so it is what it is, man. And it still can happen in September. If he fights Mikey now, it doesn't mean that he won't fight Crawford in September. I mean, more than likely, if he fights Mikey, he's going to beat him. Whether he looks old or whether it's not a great performance on either one of them's part, more than likely Pacquiao wins that fight, and he'll move on to either fight Spence or Crawford probably in September. I just don't want to wait that long. I would rather him go ahead and take these two fights and make them the toughest fights he's ever had, and just give fans what they want as his exit. You know, fans want to see him fight tough fighters because he's still around and he's beating great competition, i.e. Thurman, Broner, Matisse, you know, Vargas. So I just will be disappointed if it's Mikey, man. I'd really be disappointed. NL, great point, Red, about the weight issue with Mikey. You know, it is what it is, man. It's definitely not going to be an amazing. I mean, but Mikey Garcia might pull off something, you know, incredible. He might come back and look great. He might come back and stun us all and beat Manny Pacquiao. What then if he beats Pacquiao? What then? Oh boy. Ben Israel, Shalom Red, Bob got Bud out here looking weak. Running from the smoke. EJ, the big fish, man, damn. What's good with you, bro? You know, I don't know if I can say it's Bob that got him looking hard, but they did agree to the terms. They've agreed to the terms. Now it's kind of like got thrown back in Pacquiao's court because he was really leaning on the fact that those investors, I guess, had the money and everything already, and they had everything set up. But then the news came out about they were trying to do it in I believe it was Qatar, and now they're having a problem with an outbreak over there. So I don't know if that's the reason why it might not happen right now. They just gotta go with a backup plan because of the breakout that's happening over there, or if it's that, you know, they don't have the money, all the money actually. That could be the problem. Maybe they just hyping Pacquiao's head up about the money and wasn't expecting Bob Arum and Terence Crawford to actually accept the deal. You know, nobody knows yet. But we definitely, I'm pretty sure we're swinging closer and closer to May. So, you know, something has to come out here really soon regarding those two fights and who he's going to go with, because he can't negotiate with those guys forever and just leave 2 or 3 weeks for training for a fight. You know, it just wouldn't make a lot of sense. PAC, Spence fought Danny to see how he's mentally and physically physical health. I would agree there. Just to see, testing the waters. I think Pacquiao, if he would have fought Pacquiao though, Pacquiao would have really could have really gave him some problems. If that would have ended up being Pacquiao Spence instead of Spence Danny, I think Pacquiao could have won that fight. That's the problem with timing sometimes. Is if, with everything going on in the Philippines, Pacquiao couldn't fight him at that moment. It actually would have been a great opportunity for him to have beaten Spence based off how he looked. So, I mean, not to say Spence is going to get better or weaker moving forward, but it's possible. Anything's possible. Adam M, 40 million reasons why Bob Arum don't like the terms. It might be why. He could be angry that he's not getting a bigger piece of the pie. He would be getting a big chunk of that if Pacquiao was still his fighter. So you might be right. He might just be upset with the split. Carlos Molina, what up, Cardinal Red? What's happening with that Crawford fight? Don't want to see that Mikey fight, bro. I agree with you, man. Nobody wants to see that fight. But, it might be what we get because, everything's still not open in the world yet. Everything's not everything everywhere just yet. America is about to do some big things, man. I told you about all the stimulus stuff that's about to drop. So they just signed it into law today. The president gets it over the next day or so. And then the money's going to hit the market over the next week to week and a half. And oh boy, and then they're going to start opening stuff up. It's going to be trillions of dollars floating around the American economy. So it's going to be interesting. And that might be why he chooses Mikey, because there's going to be millions of dollars floating, trillions of dollars floating around the American marketplace. If they take the fight overseas, they're not going to be able to get a piece of that money that's about to be floating around. And they're about to start giving money out to venues that have lost money over. So he might get a venue here really, really cheap over the next couple of months. And it'd be really easy for him to make that Mikey Garcia fight. But I think that it's interesting that he's still over in the Philippines. He hasn't made his way to America yet. So, I mean, he could be going anywhere with his next fight. We don't know where he's going. It might end up not even being Mikey Garcia. It might be somebody out of left field. I actually saw an article earlier. Who was it? Let's see if it's still up here. I think it was Josh Taylor or somebody was talking about he wanted to fight Pacquiao. Let's see if I can find it. That's the thing I hate about when I find an article, if I don't save it, it's usually gone. It's hard to find it after the next few hours because it gets buried in all the other articles. I can't find it. But I think it was Josh Taylor, somebody who's moving up from 140 to 147 after the next fight. He just fought Ramirez, I think, and he was talking about he wants to fight Crawford and Pacquiao. So, like, it could be somebody completely out of left field. Don't lean completely on Mikey Garcia as being the next fight. It might not be Mikey. It might not be Terence Crawford. It could be anybody. Who knows at this point? Corm could be part of the game. Yeah. Bon QQ, what's good? Bonjour Crawford. John LeCamp. I think Pacquiao received Terence Crawford for the last fight. Reserves Terence Crawford for the last fight that he wanted to do in the Philippines. I heard about that. I did that. I talked about that in my last live. But it is going to be interesting. Maybe that's why he wants Mikey. He wants an easy fight and then wants to have a bigger fight in the Philippines. But we don't know if the Philippines are going to be open. That's what the question they were asking in that article. Like, is the Philippines actually going to be open enough by September for Pacquiao to even make that happen? So they were saying that he wanted to do it in a 55,000 seat stadium, and they don't know if they're actually going to be open enough to put 55,000 people in the stadium. Now, what I just said, America's planning on being completely open by May. You know, they gotten all these vaccines ready, and they're putting out all this stimulus money. So they're planning on big things about to happen in the U.S. over the next couple of months. A lot of money gonna be floating around, so it would be lucrative for him to have a fight here right now. Like, very lucrative for him to have a fight. If they can get everything completely opened up by May, it would be very lucrative for him to have a fight right now in the U.S. Now, whether that Mikey Garcia fight sells well, I don't know, but I think that they could put people in a stadium to watch it, just because nobody's really been able to watch boxing live, you know, as far as a huge crowd. Spence had a nice little crowd, but, you know, it was nothing compared to what we used to as boxing fans. Corm says, I hope you're right. I'd much rather see PAC versus Crawford. I think everybody would much rather see PAC versus Crawford. Be completely honest with you. But, you know, if this is what we get, this is what we get. Can't do nothing about it. Ben Israel, I told you don't believe lying Bob Arum. Why does everybody keep blaming this on Bob? He has nothing to do with it. It's nothing to do with Bob Arum. Bob Arum is not the one putting up the money. Bob Arum is not the promoter. He said it himself. You know, why does everybody keep saying it's Bob Arum? I don't get it. Why you can't blame it on Bob Arum? He has nothing to do if the fight happens or not at this point. He's already accepted what he needs to accept. Crawford's accepted what he needed to accept. Pacquiao's accepted what he needed to accept. It's not up to them. It's up to the people who putting the money up. They're the promoters. They got the money. You got to wait for them to make the final decision. And they haven't made a decision yet, which is why Pacquiao needs a backup plan. He needs to be negotiating with Mikey Garcia. He needs to be negotiating with you guys. He needs to be negotiating with Porter. It's not, you know, he has to have a backup plan for if that Crawford fight actually doesn't happen. I'm not saying it's not going to happen until they officially announce that it's not happening. But it has nothing to do with Bob Arum. That's the last time I'm going to say it. So if somebody else asks, you know, or says, you know, don't believe Bob Arum, is Bob Arum coming up with the money? Why, you know, Bob Arum's the reason, or Crawford's ducking? None of that's true. The money's there. Everybody's agreed. Well, the money's not there. It might be there. Nobody knows, basically. But everybody's agreed to the fight. Who needs to agree? But you gotta wait for the investors. They putting the money up. They're the promoters. It's nothing to do with Pacquiao or Bob Arum at this point. Bon Q. Damn, I lost myself in the... Okay. Bon Q. Respect from Chirac. Deuces up to Chirac, man. I gotta make my way up there, bro. I appreciate that, man. Peter Von Narks. Manny gonna fight Crawford next. I hope so, bro. Definitely hope so, man. I appreciate you for coming through and dropping that comment, man. Y'all smash that like button for me. Pacquiao it, man. Hook it, jab it, uppercut it. We gotta get them likes up, bro. At least give me the 10, man. Come on, y'all. Y'all playing petty with the likes. Bon Q. Crawford, did you get a new channel? Actually, I did. I did. Yeah, I actually did. The last one I had, I told y'all it had some flaws, so I took it. You know, I took it back to dude, and then he gave me this one. He gave me the this one right here with the cardinal on it. So I got that one, and then I just got this one. So yeah, I did get a new. But remember, you know, y'all gotta say, you know, Terence Crawford looks like me. It's not the other way around. I don't look like Terence Crawford. He looks like me. Y'all silly, man. Peter Vonneck. So Mikey is going to fight Pacquiao, and Manny gets $40 million. Now, I wasn't saying that. I said it would be interesting if it turned out to be that way. If it actually turned out to be that way, I would be highly peed off, because that means that either Crawford did duck Pacquiao, or for some reason Pacquiao went with Mikey Garcia and gave Mikey Garcia $10 million for a fight instead of Terence Crawford, which really wouldn't make any sense. So I wasn't saying that he's gonna get $40 million. Ain't no way he's gonna make no $40 million for no Mikey Garcia fight at all. But you know, it would be crazy if that did actually happen. Why would Bud take $10 million and give Pacquiao $40? Doesn't make sense. Pacquiao's the A side. He sells the pay-per-view. Terence Crawford can't sell. You know, he can't sell lemonade at a barbecue, man. He don't sell. It just is what it is. For some reason, he's a good fighter. He just don't sell. People don't tune in for Terence Crawford fights. He doesn't have a very big personality, so he doesn't sell himself very well. Almost like me, you know, I'm not a animated type person. You know, Earl Spence a little bit more animated, but Earl Spence he can sell a fight because his marketing scheme is really good. He puts himself, and I think it's more of Al Heyman than it is Earl Spence. Is marketing scheme. I would say Al Heyman puts Spence next to rappers because rappers are very popular, and whoever's next to a rapper, you know, you're gonna get a piece of that fan base, and you know it's real easy to take Earl Spence and set him next to a rapper, and you know, him to suck up a piece of that rap fan base. It's smart on Al Heyman's part to use the music industry to push his fighters. You know, Mike Tyson was next to Tupac. You know, Tupac was next to Mike Tyson, and it worked for both of them. You know, Pac got a piece of Tyson's fan base, and Tyson got a piece of Pac's fan base. So it works. It's a marketing strategy that works. To when you look at Terence Crawford, Bob Arum really doesn't have a scheme to make Terence Crawford popular. To where, you know, hey, Earl Spence, he wrote that scheme that Al Heyman put in front of him. Same way that Mayweather wrote the scheme of being the bad guy. At first he was Pretty Boy, and then when he turned into the bad guy, when he turned into Money Mayweather, he started making hundreds of millions of dollars. So it's all about your marketing strategy, man. How you market yourself, and you know, Earl Spence markets himself very well to where Terence Crawford doesn't really have a marketing scheme for himself, you know, personally for himself, outside of what Bob Arum does for him. Corn, for real, it's killing me not knowing who Crawford is going to fight next. You know, I think it's killing everybody, man, to have to sit through this. And now having to sit through Mikey Garcia talk, you know? And you know, the people who don't like Pacquiao, they just loving this. You know, they're loving the fact that he might have to go fight Mikey Garcia, and they can poke fun of him and you know, make fun of this fight. You know, he went from fighting Keith Thurman to fighting the Mikey Garcias of the world. You know, yeah, it's a tune-up in some people's mind, but every fight counts, man. Every fight should be for a reason, and this whole Mikey Garcia talk is really leaving a bad taste in my mouth. Virgil, why is Crawford moving up in weight and he didn't yet conquer welterweight division? I saw that somebody was reporting that he's ballooned up in weight himself to about 154. That he's 154, 160 that he's walking around at. So I don't know. You know, maybe he's planning an exit from 147 here pretty soon. He might be looking for a cash out fight at 147, which would be smart on his point. The more he moves up, the more money he's gonna make. And unfortunately for him, he might have to move up if he doesn't get the Spence fight, if he doesn't get the Pacquiao fight. It would be his best bet to move up, fight one of the Charlos, or to try to fight Triple G or Canelo, because he's going to get some huge paydays for any of those fights. Compared to him just sitting around at welterweight, waiting for Earl Spence to lower his negotiation price, which is never gonna happen. Spence is never gonna, unless he loses one of them titles, he's never gonna come down on his split of the money, or unless Terence Crawford somehow gets that other belt from Jordanians, you guys, or secures a Manny Pacquiao victory. You know, it would be in his best interest just to go ahead and move up, or to move back down and wait and take on some of these younger guys who are up and coming, like Teofimo Lopez or Devin Haney or somebody like that. You know, which would be really good fights for Crawford. I think those would be really, really. I would love to see Crawford fight Teofimo Lopez. I would actually pay for that fight. You know. But we have to see. I think he would be more inclined to move up and wait than go down and wait. In there, Chi-Town, straight up. Peter Vox, Crawford should fight Porter or Thurman next. $40 million to Pacquiao doesn't make sense. I don't know about Thurman, but Porter definitely, man, would be an awesome fight. And I would definitely rather see that than Mikey Garcia. Brian Q, you need to take a DNA test. You might really be related. He might really be related to me. Peter Voss, they better open up. I'm sick of this COVID BS, man, completely, man. And I'm not even in a state that's we've never been fully locked down, to be honest with you. Kentucky is, they play by a different set of rules. They got this whole Commonwealth thing here. So, they make their own set of rules. And they never went into a full lockdown. They were telling people to go home at a certain time, but they wasn't going to lock you up or nothing if they caught you out and about, after the curfew. Plus, everything was going on with the Breonna Taylor and, the police shooting innocent people. And, it was a riot basically going on here for 4 or 5 months. So, the police were already, they had already basically bowed down to the citizens. A lot of crazy stuff was going on around that whole situation. So, to be honest, we never were really locked down completely here. I've been out and about the whole time. The only restrictions that you have here is they won't let you inside of a building without a face mask on, and these people will chase you out of a building if you ain't got no face mask. Man, I done gotten so many arguments about that whole conversation. Is why I don't want to go into it on the internet for YouTube reasons. But yeah, definitely, we never really been fully locked down here. So unfortunately, I know a lot of other people have been. Man, it's almost been like jail for other people. So I'm hoping everything does open up and the people who have been fully locked down get their freedom back. So, it is what it is, man. I never thought I would ever see anything like this in my lifetime, at all. Completely honest. I've never experienced anything like this in my life. But it's very interesting to see how people have reacted to this whole situation. It's very interesting to see how much actual control the government has over people. And I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to talk about that no more about that. I know people have been asking me about my opinion about, but for YouTube reasons, I can't even really go deep into that conversation. So I'm going to leave it there. Red Cloud. What's good with your Red Cloud? Like that name. Pacquiao's tune-up is just to get back his ring sharpness. It could be a Rod Shalka, Calvasquez, or any Jordanian version, Franklin. I don't know who these people are that you name. It could be much, much worse. It's just a tune-up to reclaim sharpness. I mean, I completely understand, man. I'm not downing the tune-up part about it. What I'm downing is the fact that there are better tune-up fights that could be made than Mikey Garcia, and the fact that Mikey Garcia himself said he was up to 180 pounds, which is a huge. I mean, it's almost 40 pounds of extra weight for a welterweight. And then for you to drop all that weight in 3 months is like, there's no way you're going to be the same fighter that you was before you put on all that weight. And then when you drop all that weight that fast, you're not going to be able to bring the fight like you normally do. Just not with your first fight back. It could be completely a ugly fight, man. I think it's going to turn into an ugly. If it happens, it'll turn into something really ugly. Well, we'll get to see Pacquiao fight again. I'm happy about we'll get to see Pacquiao fight again. I just don't like the opponent. G-Box, what's good with you, bro? What's good? Adam M. Bud will be sitting on the sidelines and will fight the winner of Ramirez Taylor. Yes, who I was thinking that was, Taylor. Basically, winner of that fight goes up to 147 to fight Bud. That's what I was talking about. And he Taylor, who you're talking about, said that he wants to fight Pacquiao and Crawford. But I don't think he's gonna get the opportunity to fight Pacquiao. It might be a little too late for him to actually fight Pacquiao. Peter says, at Adam M, I agree. Now, we've heard Bob Arum say this before, that he wanted to put Crawford up against Ramirez, some lower 140 competition that's moving up. He wanted to face Crawford up against. So that might be the reason why Pacquiao, it might not have anything to do with the money. The money's there. It might have to do with, Bob Arum has these in-house fights he wants to make. And if Terence Crawford loses, he can't make those in-house fights anymore because there's no more incentive for him to face Crawford up against those guys. Pacquiao will have the belt, and he would have taken Terence Crawford's O, so it makes those fights less lucrative for Bob Arum. I agree with both of y'all. It is what it is. But we can't blame. Hey, you can't say the money wasn't there. Can't say everybody didn't agree to the terms. I don't know who you would blame at the end of the day if this fight doesn't happen. Because from everybody's standpoint, from Pacquiao's standpoint, from Bob Arum's, everything is on point. I don't know what's going on now at this point. Why they haven't just announced the fight. If the money's there, everybody's agreed. Obviously, something else is going on in the background we, as fans, just don't know about. Alright, y'all. So, I'm going to go on for about 15 more minutes, man. I'm going to get out of here. So, y'all take time out, man. Pacquiao the like button for me. We got 22 people in here, man. We only got 11 likes. Come on, you guys. Come on, man. Hook it, jab it, uppercut. You only, just... all you got to do is move your fingers, man. PAC, Philippines are too strict when it comes to CVID. I'm not over there, and I can't speak the language, so I don't know exactly what's going on, man. I would appreciate if somebody would be willing to explain to the audience, or come on live with me one day and explain what's going on over there, and what the news is in the Philippines about Pacquiao. But I just gotta wait and see who volunteers to do that, man. Bond Q Real, how do you feel about fighting your favorite fighter, Pacquiao? Are you asking me personally if I fought Pacquiao, I would feel? I don't know, man. It depends on how much they paid me. But if you're asking how the guy who looks like me probably feels about fighting Pacquiao, I think he's a little worried about this fight, man. I think everybody in Team Crawford's worried about this fight. To be honest with you. Peter says Philippines are still locked down. Even the fish are locked down. Wow. So, how bad are they locked down over there, man? Are they locked down to the point where y'all just can't go anywhere? Or are they locked down to the point where y'all have freedom just up until a certain time of the day? Let me know that down there, man, somewhere in the chat. What fish? Crawfish, barbecue, silly. Adam M. If it's Mikey, it's gotta be in Dallas Cowboy Stadium. I would agree, and I think that might be why he would go with that fight. Like I said, Texas actually opened up last week with a mask mandate, so they were the first state to actually open back up. So I wouldn't be surprised if, like I said, if that fight happened. I wouldn't be happy if it happened, and I definitely wouldn't be happy if Mikey Garcia gets anywhere near $10 million for that fight. I would have to say then there's something really shady going on behind the scenes. PAC Bob the Builder. Well, the investors are dragging their feet. Man, their feet are buried. They ain't dragging them. They are buried. I've lost all hope in the investors about a week and a half. Which is why I kind of stopped posting, because I'm like, man, I'm not going to keep posting about the same thing over and over and over again. And then I already knew the whole Mikey Garcia talk was going to happen, because the investors wasn't saying anything. And to make news, you got to have something to talk about. So I was like, man, the next thing that's going to start popping up is Mikey Garcia. And I just don't want to cover Mikey Garcia. I don't want to waste my time on Mikey Garcia. If the fight happens, I'll talk about it. I will watch some boxing, some training stuff for Mikey and Manny. We can do some lives about it. But I definitely wouldn't give it my full attention like I would have to the Crawford fight or the Earl Spence fight, man. I'm disappointed. I waited all this time to be fed Taco Garcia. And it's really hard to swallow this Taco Garcia. Adam M. Fawcing on him. You silly, man. Life is good, man. I'll say that. Life is good, man. Enjoy your life, man. If you knew the last year and a half, 2 years of my life, I'm just glad to be free and I can enjoy life, man. I'll say that much. People are an MFer, I will say that, and I'm just happy to be free, man. I can enjoy my life at this point. I'm not rich or anything. I'm not even successful on YouTube. But, I enjoy what I do on YouTube. I enjoy my life. I enjoy what I can buy myself. If people knew my real life, man, you would understand, put it that way. So, I appreciate the little things, man. Appreciate the little things in life, bro. Adam M. The investors are the same investors who invested in the Freyer Festival. I don't even know what that is. I guess I have to look that one up. Where'd you get that info from, Adam M? You got some sources I ain't got, man. Let me know what your sources, man. Share your sources. Buying Q Crawford looked just like Red. Crawford copying. Yeah, they want to be the prototype, man. They know what's up, man. They know what's up. They want to be the prototype, but they can't. You can't clone this, man. You can't make this. This is one of a kind, man. This is all authentic over here, son. PAC says PAC versus Mikey is better than Floyd last 3 fights. Laughing my butt off. I would agree with that. I'm not gonna lie about that. Conor McGregor, Andre Berto and Takib, or whatever his name was. Definitely, Mikey Garcia is better than all 3 of those guys. But it doesn't justify this fight to me at all. I feel like Manny Pacquiao deserves an easy victory, but at the same time, I don't feel like this. He shouldn't have made that statement about legacy until after this fight. Put it that way. If he hadn't made that the whole legacy statement, I would have no problem with this fight. But since he said himself, these next 2 fights are for my legacy, I have a problem with if he picks Mikey Garcia, because your Danish you guys would be more for your legacy because you would have got the belt back. You could say you beat another champion. He's getting absolutely nothing from fighting Mikey Garcia, except for saying he fought Mikey Garcia, and we saw Manny Pacquiao still looks okay in a boxing ring, but it was a waste of everybody's time, because I don't think he's lost any type of step. I don't care that it's been a year or 2 years that he last fought. He beat the ish out of Keith Thurman. Like, I don't see why people keep looking past the fact he beat the ish out of Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman ain't fought since Pacquiao. We even saw Broner fight again since Pacquiao. It did take Broner a while to get his to get his stuff together, but I think Broner would have came back quicker if he didn't have all the personal problems. So I don't see why people have a problem, or it's hard for people to wrap their head around Manny Pacquiao might not have lost a step in that year and a half. He didn't lose. He hasn't lost a step up until this point. He's beating everybody they put in front of him. I would agree with you guys if he didn't look good. If he didn't knock Thurman down, then I might agree with y'all. But he knocked Thurman down. If he didn't beat the ish out of Adrian Broner, I would agree with you. If he didn't beat the ish out of Lucas Matisse and Jesse Vart, but he did. So at no point am I ever gonna go against Manny Pacquiao. I don't feel like he's out of shape. I don't think he's ever out of shape. I don't feel like he needs a tune-up fight, to be completely honest with you. But if he did take a tune-up fight, I would rather it be against Porter or you guys. I feel like a lot of this is just wasting everybody's time. It's just a waste of time, really. G-Box, I think Eddie of the Zone offered Manny a bigger purse that Manny can't turn down. Remember, Eddie was the one who got someone from Middle East to shell out $1 million for the Jose Ruiz fight. I'm not surprised. Eddie Hearn has the money. He's been having the money, and he's been wanting to make a fight with Manny Pacquiao. He didn't care who he was putting him in there with. He just wanted to fight. He wanted to make the Pacquiao Brook fight. He wanted to make the Pacquiao Khan fight. And he would have made those fights, and they would have big money fights for him, especially if he would have got them made when he wanted to make them. But I'm not surprised that Eddie Hearn has the money to do it, and that might be the reason why this fight happens. But I just would be disappointed, especially if the numbers are anywhere near what this Terence Crawford fight was, because that means that he turned down the Crawford fight to take a taco, to go eat tacos with Mikey Garcia. And I don't want to say that about Pacquiao. Because I'm telling you, Pacquiao haters are going to take that and run with that so fast. You're never going to hear the end of that as a Pacquiao fan. So just be prepared for that, And don't expect me to get on here and try to defend Pacquiao fighting Mikey Garcia when these guys are chewing Manny Pacquiao up. I mean, it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. Why? Hey, it is what it is. But G-Box, 100 M's. Peter Box at G-Box. Interesting point. You may be right. Real the Future. Red Room Sports always with an update. What's up with my guy? What's up with you, Real the Future? Appreciate you for coming through, bro. Appreciate you for that shout out, man. Shout you right back out. Y'all go check him out if he got videos. Real the Future, man. Go hit his channel up, man. Support the man. If he got videos up. If not, just go over and, kind of force him to make some videos. Y'all never know. I might disappear one day. Y'all never know. I ain't going to be around forever, probably. YouTube ain't paying enough to be around forever. NL, what do you think of Tank versus Boris fight? The winner fights Tio at 140 for all the belts. Who do you think will win? I think it's a dangerous fight for Tank. Boris knocking people out. I never heard of that guy, man. I had to check him out to see. But as far as Tank and Teofimo, at 140. I would rather see it at 135 for all those belts, because I think that's where Teofimo holds all the belts at. But if it happened at 140, I think I think at 140 Teo has more of an advantage. I think his body's built a little bit more for 140 pounds than Tank's body is. But Tank packs a big punch, so it would be a war. But I think Teofimo might edge Tank out at 140. At 135, I think Tank might knock him out at 135. Man, 5 pounds makes a difference. I think people don't think that, but 5 pounds makes a difference. 5 pounds could slow a fighter down, or 5 pounds can make a fighter more strong. You know, it can make them stronger. So it could go in either direction as far as that one goes. Real the future. It takes two fighters to sign a major contract. So whoever doesn't sign the contract is the one to blame. I mean, that's true, but it still depends on the terms of the contract. You know, the investors could pull all this apart. They could say, hey, the money's there, but the venue's not there, so we can't do it right now. They might be the ones to say, hey, yeah, we got the money, but, you know, there's nowhere to put the fight. They probably specifically want to do it in the Middle East for the generation of revenue, you know, for their country, you know, and it would generate a lot of money for their country. So I think if they have to take it out of the Middle East, they probably won't do it. So I think that would be the major issue. I think that's the issue that's holding all of the negotiations up. I don't think you could. It might be a situation where you can't blame anybody. It's just a sign of the times, and they might just have to wait until September, and if he can't do it in the Philippines, he'll, I guess, go back to those investors and say, hey, are things open up enough now to where we can make the fight and have a venue? So you might not be able to blame Pacquiao, Bob Arum, or Crawford for why it didn't happen. You might have to blame the investment group because they don't want to take it out of the Middle East. Their plan is to make the fight in the Middle East. So if it can't happen in the Middle East, it's not going to happen. Peter says Pacquiao barely beat Thurman. I think Keith won that fight anyway. I don't know about that one, man. You know, I had Pacquiao well up on the scorecards. I don't feel like Keith Thurman dominated any of those rounds except for maybe the last one. Maybe I guess you can give him the last 2 rounds, you know, decisively, because Pacquiao really wasn't, you know, he didn't have to do a lot. And at no point did I feel like Keith Thurman was winning that fight, though. Pacquiao knocked him down, so he was already up 2 points. And by the time the 6th round, 7th round came around, I think Pacquiao won all those rounds up until the 6th, 7th, you know, 8th. You know, around the 9th, 10th round is where Thurman started winning rounds. But Pacquiao was up so far. He didn't have to really do much to win that fight. So I can't agree with that. NL, true that real the future. Carlos Molina, sorry they retracted your comment. Adam M. Peter, get real, go watch it again. Pac ran away with the fight late in the fight. Wasn't it close at all? Man, I completely agree with that, Peter. It wasn't close at all. I think the reason everybody thinks he gassed out is because he didn't want to knock Thurman out. If you watch his fights, the last few fights, once he's up a certain amount of points and he knows he's up a certain amount of, he just turns it off. He's not about destroying these guys anymore. He will beat them to the point where he's winning the fight, but he's not Miguel Cotto or Margarito and anybody anymore. You're never gonna see Pacquiao do another fighter like that again. He actually felt bad for doing that to those guys. So you're never gonna see Pacquiao beat the complete ish out of nobody anymore because he doesn't want to. When he knows he's up, he's just gonna turn it off and he's gonna do enough to win the fight. Now the complete opposite of that was in the Marquez fight. He had to turn the gas up because Marquez knocked him down. And, you know, at no point was he down in that Thurman fight, so he never had to turn the gas up. It was the complete opposite in that Marquez fight. Marquez knocked him down, so he had to turn the gas on. And you saw right before he got knocked out, he was about to knock Marquez out. So I never want to go against Pacquiao. I know what his abilities are, and I watched him enough to know. And until he's done, I'm never gonna go against him until he says, okay, I've had enough. Once he says it, then I'll be done, promoting him and saying that he needs to continue, or saying the stuff about him. At that point, then I'll be done. Carlos Molina, right, Peter? You need to know what you're watching. Y'all silly, man. Adam M. I've watched that fight about 4 times already. Pac clearly won. It is what it is, man. Vaughn, Adam M. Thurman was putting the hurt on Pacquiao late, in my opinion. I'm just partial anyway. Now, we'll agree, around the 10th, 11th, and 12th round, he did turn it up. Thurman did turn it up in that fight. But Pacquiao was up so far already in the fight, he didn't have to respond by turning the gas up anymore and risk being knocked out. So I don't see why people say he gassed. He didn't gas. He just didn't. He didn't try to bring the fight to Thurman because he didn't have to try to bring him. There was no need for him to turn it up at that point. Everybody still wants to see him do this knockout stuff. He can still do it, but he's learned from the Marquez fight. When you're up, you're up. Just win the fight. You don't have to go out here and try to kill yourself to get a victory. He's not trying to do that no more. I think people need to understand that as Pacquiao fans and kind of move on from that. He's not that same fighter. He can still do that stuff, but he doesn't need to do that stuff anymore. Adam M. I have to watch it again. Yeah, man, check that out again. Real deal, future. I wish these guys in the welterweight division can do it like the 4 Kings did it back in the day, but too many of them is dolled up with popularity and scared to get down with the get down. I mean, I agree with you. I hate to go back to Floyd Mayweather, but a lot of this is Floyd Mayweather's fault. He created this whole little old culture, and it is what it is now. Guys are making big money. Guys feel like the O is why they're making money. The fans like it when guys have an O. So we as boxing fans got to kind of live with this culture until somebody decides to change it. Somebody decides to change it back or go in a different direction. Up until that point, we gotta get sucky fights, and we gotta have ignorant boxing conversations until things change. Hopefully it's soon, but I don't see it coming that soon, man. ABC 123. We appreciate you, Red, man. I appreciate y'all more than y'all appreciate me, man. Y'all have no idea, man. You really have no idea, man. I put a lot of work into this channel. At one point, I was like, man, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And, I was getting a lot of support. And then things, in real life changed. YouTube world and real life, they're 2 different worlds, man. And things in the real world changed. And all the momentum I had built up, it got flushed down the toilet, and YouTube even took a dump on me because when I tried to come back and start posting videos again, they didn't want to show my content to nobody. So they were basically wanting me to go in, rebuild my whole audience again, and start from zero. I was so kind of like peed off but then when people started to trickle back in, I'm seeing old faces and people are like, watching the videos again. It becomes motivating again to, try to pursue what I had started in the first place. So hopefully it grows into something big. If it doesn't, who cares? We all cool. Met some cool people out here. So, and you guys motivated me to get through a hard time too. So I was going through some personal stuff that YouTube kind of distracted me from. So, instead of letting that personal stuff cloud my judgment and make me do silly stuff, I hop on here and holler at y'all, man. And y'all will holler back, and so I appreciate y'all as much as y'all appreciate me, man. Real talk, man. Adam M. No, I get you. First time I felt it was close, but watch it again. PAC clearly won. Go watch it again and see if you think the same. I've watched Triple G Canelo won about 5 times, and I still don't know who won. It's crazy. I've never watched Triple G Canelo 1. I've only watched the highlights. I've seen parts of 2. And I know that people say that, Canelo clearly beat him in 2. But I need to go watch Triple G Canelo 1 and see what you're talking about that fight. Real the future, man. If you put cuss words in the chat, they're going to hold your comment, man. So try not to put the curse words in there. Certain curse words are missable. But because of the algorithm and everything, I had to start blocking that stuff, man. YouTube was going to start slapping me on the hand for it. So, my bad. I will read your comment without the cuss words. Honestly, Red, don't you think Spence is kind of a diva right now about the situation? Because at this point, his patience is high in the A. Listen, man. I think, look, whether you're a Spence fan or you're a Crawford fan or you're a Pacquiao fan, this is what we have to understand. Earl Spence can do whatever he wants to do because he is the A-side of A-sides in the welterweight division. He has the most belts. He sells the most pay-per-views. We can't add Pacquiao in there because we know Pacquiao's still the king of pay-per-views. Those guys can't really compete with Pacquiao. But if you're talking about strictly the new generation of boxing, excluding Pacquiao, then Earl Spence is the A-side of A-sides. He can kick his feet up. He can demand any amount of money he wants for any fighter, and he can just chill out, really. We might not like it, and it is a diva way of acting, but I don't blame him because, to be completely honest, if he takes that Terence Crawford fight and loses, then and he took it at a discount, then he would be completely stupid for taking that fight at a discount. I mean, that's why he has to stick to his guns and either get Crawford to come off of his high horse, or just say, "Hey, I'm not going to make the fight." It just is what it is. He would be completely idiotic if he says, "Okay, well, I'm gonna take a pay cut for Terence Crawford," and then Terence Crawford goes in there and knocks him out. And that's what people don't mention when they talk about that situation, is because that's the problem with that fight. Is if he gets beat by Crawford, then he would have taken a pay cut to go get knocked out. That's completely stupid. If you're going, even if you're gonna lose that fight, you would want to get the biggest payday you've ever gotten and lose at the same time. That would be the smart business thing to do. And this is the business of boxing. So Earl Spence is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. He's doing the business of boxing, along with the fact that he's the A-side of A-sides in the welterweight division. And I can't hate him for that. It might be holding things up. It might be bad for boxing. But because of the state of boxing, what Floyd Mayweather's built boxing into, it just is what it is. I don't blame him. I really don't blame him. If Crawford was bringing more to the table, he's just not. Crawford doesn't sell pay-per-views. Earl Spence is just the A-side. Unfortunately, it goes back to what I said earlier. Crawford doesn't have a good marketing gimmick in the way Earl Spence has a great marketing gimmick because of Al Heyman setting him next to all those rappers and making him more popular with the rap fan base. It's smart. Bob Arum isn't doing that for Crawford. He's not building Crawford's fan base up to sell fights. If Crawford could sell, if Crawford could bring in at least $500,000, 600, 700,000 buys, he would be bringing something to the table when it comes to the Earl Spence fight. But he's not bringing anything to the table except for the fact that he's a good boxer. And that's dangerous because if he beats Earl Spence at a discount, then Spence will be looking completely stupid at the end of the day for taking that fight at a discount. So, I mean, that should end that whole argument right there, man. Carlos, that's right, Cardinal. The little things are big when you coming from from not a easy life, bro. I appreciate that, man. People just don't know. I don't like to put everything out on YouTube. It's my personal life, so hey, has nothing to do with you guys. Y'all want to talk about boxing, not my life. If Pacquiao fights Garcia, he should seriously retire. If he's not fighting the best, then he should hang it up. It makes it look that he is scared and ducking the top dogs of the division. I sort of agree with you right there. Vinding 24, Dying 24. I agree with you, man. It looks weird, man. It's listen. I know why if the Crawford fight doesn't happen, why it didn't happen. I already know. I just told y'all why. If it doesn't happen, why it's not going to happen. And it's not because any of those guys are ducking or the money wasn't there. It's because the venue wasn't open in the Middle East, and those guys who putting the money up are set on it being in the Middle East. So I wouldn't sit there and say that Pacquiao's ducking or Crawford's ducking, but I still say it makes Pacquiao look bad because of the quality of opponent that he had chose. It almost looks like what Floyd Mayweather did choosing Andre Berto, and that I'm telling you, Mayweather fans are gonna come out of nowhere and really clown him about this because Pacquiao fans clown Mayweather for choosing Berto. It's one of those similar situations, so it is what it is. Vine says ducking thee. Patrick Carter, yo, what's good with your Pat? Appreciate you for coming through, man. Appreciate you for coming through. Can we get up to 20 likes, man? Give me the Pacquiao that like button for back. Come on, man. We almost been on here for 2 hours, man. Give me the 20. Peter says, I was watching the Porter podcast and someone brought up Crawford Sean wouldn't comment, so yeah, never know. Yeah, we don't know yet, man. We don't know yet. We don't know where this is all gonna go. Barbecue Red, don't forget. Barbecue says, don't forget me when you get. I don't know about getting famous, man. I don't know about that one, but I'm famous with y'all already, so I guess that's something. Hey. Peter, Mikey is a 4-division champion. He has a lot of fans. He can box tune up. LOL, Mikey could very well retire Pacquiao. I mean, it could happen. Definitely could happen. I won't say every boxer has a chance, so I'm not saying it won't happen. I don't like the fight. Yes, Pacquiao himself said that he didn't relax in the later rounds of the Thurman fight. He did relax in the later rounds of the Thurman fight, and not that he gassed. He just, it is what it is, man. Adam, and when everybody is undefeated in one division, something ain't right. Yeah, I mean, it explains it all. If there's more than, if all of the, and it would be even worse if Jordanians, you guys, was undefeated, because that means, none of the champions have ever fought each other. So it kind of like shows the state of boxing, man, when the two best guys are undefeated. It means that they've never fought each other. And it's horrible for boxing, man. It's really horrible for boxing, but look what Mayweather did to the great sport. Adam NL says, Adam, great point. That's an excellent point he brought up, man. I pinned that comment up there. Yeah, I pinned your comment up right to the top, man. That was one of the best ones of the night. Real the future. My bad. No need for a my bad, bro. I don't ain't no need for a my bad. I liked your comment. They brought up a great topic, you know. So ain't no need for that, man. Manny high PEDs. Pacroid. What kind of name is that? His screen name is Manny High PEDs Pacroid. Oh man, that's an interesting that's an interesting name for your channel, man. Adam M. I don't really care if Bud fights a nobody next fight. I'll still watch him. If Pac retires, Bud is my next favorite fighter to watch. Spence bores me with his style, and Thurman doesn't fight enough. I think it's true. You know, Spence he's not the most exciting fighter to watch. I think he has skill similar to Canelo. He has a lot of technical skill, but I don't think he's as technically sound as Canelo. And I think there's a lot that Pacquiao could take advantage of. It's probably some stuff that Crawford could take advantage of too. But I just think, I do think he's more. I think he's more skilled. And it's hard for me to explain why I favor him over Crawford. But I think he's just a little bit more skilled than Crawford is. And I think it's the fact that he packs a little bit more of a punch. So I think when he lands on Crawford, it's going to have more of an effect on Crawford than when Crawford lands on Spence. I think Spence, especially from that car accident, I think he can take Crawford's punches. I don't really think Crawford packs that heavy of a punch, to be honest with you. I will beat Midget Bomsia. I guess you say Mikey Garcia, but you call him Bomsia. Listen, man, I'm not trying to degrade Mikey Garcia or anything. My biggest problem with this fight is that Mikey Garcia's weight. And what Manny Pacquiao said about his, it being for his legacy. If he would have never said that, I wouldn't have a problem with the Mikey Garcia fight. But since he said himself it's about the legacy, I have a real problem if he picks Mikey Garcia. I understand why, but I have a problem with him picking Mikey Garcia over you guys or Porter. Personally, I think he should have. I would have appreciated if he would have went with Porter or you guys more than Mikey Garcia. But it's ultimately not my choice. I will never be a part of Team Pacquiao. They have no reason to come to me to try to make fights. So, I would like to be a part of the team, don't get me wrong, but they would never, and they're not going to come to me to make a fight. So, it's not up to me, but, I don't like it. Or Mikey could just be a tune-up for Pac, or why not fight Spence? Shouldn't be easy to make because of Al Heyman. Pacquiao did say that Spence was one of his options for his backup fight. Now, that is very true. He did mention that Spence was a backup option if he couldn't get his first option, which was Terence Crawford, which that's why when the Mikey Garcia fight talks popped up again, I really wasn't interested in even talking about it because Manny Pacquiao did say that. He said that if I can't get Spence, and this goes back to what he said about legacy. He said if I can't get Crawford, I'm gonna fight Spence. So when they started talking about Mikey Garcia, I'm like, hold on, man, something's wrong here, man. Something is either going on in the background, or it's like what I said earlier. They're trying to freeze him out of the championship rankings. Because why isn't Earl Spence saying anything? Why isn't you guys saying anything? And why is Mikey Garcia pushing this fight so hard? I don't get it. And I don't get why Manny Pacquiao even acknowledged it. He shouldn't have really even acknowledged it in the same way he didn't acknowledge the Ryan Garcia talk. But I hate even talking about it, man. It's making my stomach hurt even talking about it. I'm Manny Pacquiao. I'm not a hater, man. If it's funny, it's funny. And that is funny, man. That is funny. Mayweather beat me. Holy Inferno. I felt that. Man, what's good with you, Holy Inferno, man? Good seeing you again, bro. Manny High PEDs. High is human growth hormones. Did you not notice my skull and jaw grow? Oh, man, you are a comedian, bro. I appreciate you for coming through, man, and dropping some comedy in the chat, man. I ain't no hater, man. If it's funny, it's funny. You can be funny, man. You ain't got cuss to be funny either, so I appreciate the comedy, bro. Holy Inferno, I really hope Pacquiao fight Crawford. If anyone deserves a O to go, it'll be Crawford. I think he does have the worst welterweight resume out of everybody right now, but we just gotta see, man. We gotta see. My skull grew it too. Hey, y'all silly. If I'm Manny, my next 2 fights will be Spence Crawford. That's it, and no one else. Those are the best boxers for enhancing his already legendary legacy. Like I said, man, based off those words, that's what I was basing everything off of, man. The words that came out of Manny Pacquiao's mouth. And those words were legacy defining, you know, and nothing about Mikey Garcia fight says legacy. It says nothing about legacy. Rumors say that he may run for president of the Philippines next year. That's definitely not a rumor. It's gonna happen. Vaughn, I just want to see Bud fight. You must be a big Bud fan, man. I like Crawford, man. I have really nothing against Crawford or Spence. I do favor Spence over Crawford if they fight. I favor Pacquiao over both of them. Based off of experience and punching power and speed, but if we were just left with Crawford and Spence, I would support both of them, but I would lean more towards Spence. I think Spence, I just feel like he's fundamentally a little bit better and he packs more of a punch. So I would just favor Spence. And like I said, his personality. What Terence Crawford doesn't really have a personality, Earl Spence has a personality. He seems like somebody you can hang out with. I can hang out with Crawford too, but I think we would both just be sitting at the house. Probably watching fishing or something, man. You know, it would be a real boring day to where I think Earl Spence is one of those type of people to where, you know, we might go fishing and kick it, but at the end of the day, he gonna be like, man, all right, let's at least go parking lot pimp somewhere. We ain't gotta go in the club, but let's go parking lot pimp and show these light skins our jewelry, our things. You feel? You know, I could kick it with both of them. It would just be, depending on who you hanging with, it's gonna go 2 different ways. You hang with Crawford, you probably gonna be fishing all day, chilling, doing chilled out stuff. Where you hang with Spence, you're gonna be chill for half the day, and then you gonna turn up at the end of the night and go look at some light skins. Well, alright, man. Let's see. Adam M. at Peter, exactly. I love watching a Bud fight. The Kell Brook fight was decent, man. I'm not gonna lie, it was exciting to see. I felt sorry for Kell Brook because I like Kell Brook, so it was kind of bittersweet to watch the end of basically what I feel like was the end of Kell Brook's career. But at the same time, it was nice to see Crawford get off. When he gets off, he looks good, man. I can't lie about that. I just don't think he's the best guy out there. Based off of competition, I don't think he's the best guy out there. Vaughn says, I never met a politician that wasn't full of crap. Pacquiao's a politician. Well, that's the thing, man. You know, politics needs to change, and Pacquiao could be the push in the right direction, man. So, we all know Pacquiao ain't full of crap, man. He could have easily been boxing this whole time, over the past year and a half, easily. But he decided to go give his time to the Philippines and the people of the Philippines. So we know he's not full of any type of crap, and he ain't blowing smoke up those people's butt, man. He gonna do what he says he's gonna do. He might not always have the political power to get everything he wants done, but I think he's the guy who's gonna push them in the right direction. And I don't ever think Pacquiao's blowing smoke, ever. Pac, the only one beat Spence is his car. Straps. Oh boy. That might be a too soon joke right there. That's a good one right there. I'm sorry, but I gotta pin this comment to the top. Because that is the funniest, most true thing I've ever heard in the chat, man. Pac, you get 6 thumbs up, man, for that one. Man, the only one who beats Spence is his car. Straps. That's hilarious. Yes, that was funny. Alright, let's move on. I had to pin that one. At Adam Ilb, I agree. Peter says, I have friends that live in the Philippines. They're all locked down over there. Wow, like completely locked down, man. That's crazy. But how do you lock down a village though? I don't get how do you lock down how you lock a village down? Like it's got like troops standing over these people for 24 hours a day. Like I don't get it, man. I'm not even gonna get into it, man. You know, we're gonna mess around and get the laugh turned off if I get into the whole crisis situation. So we're gonna leave it alone. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope they get their freedom here real soon, man. Or why not Sean Porter too? Anyone but Mikey. Mikey is unproven at welterweight. Man, I completely agree with you there, Vaughn. I don't understand it either. But, you know, this might be what we get. Police are on the street corners in the Philippines locked down. Wow. That's ugly, man. That's ugly. I know they got a crazy, they have a crazy army over there, man. So, hopefully they get their freedom soon, man. This stuff needs to all just fade away, man, for real. They have one day of the week they can go shopping in the Philippines. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. I guess I could say the only good thing about that is they are a rural country. So I'm pretty sure there are places that a lot of those villages, they probably got a lot of food growing. And there's a lot of fruit, you know, the Philippines has a lot of natural resources. So I'm pretty sure it's not hard for people to get food. I hope it isn't, you know. They can always go fishing or, you know, they got a lot of tropical foods that grow wild over there. So, you know, hopefully the people are surviving the best way they can. It's horrible over here too, man, in a lot of places. A lot of homelessness. A lot of people living in tents. People taking over parking lots and living in tents and making tents out of blankets and stuff. So, the world is absolutely insane right now, man. I'm just leave it there, man. We can't keep going into this whole pandemic situation, man. I'm serious. They will cut us off if we go too deep into that conversation. So we can't go too deep into that combo. Cardinal Red, Paga is recooked garbage food in the Philippines. Ha ha, for reals. Wow. Like I said, man, we can't go too much deeper into that conversation. I don't want to get no copy. I don't want to get no strikes or violations, man. So we just, everybody, pray for people, man. Pray for the world, man. It's crazy out here. If you blessed, be blessed, man. Enjoy what you got. But there are people out here with absolutely nothing, bro. It's crazy. There's people getting robbed here and people getting shot. Man, we had so many murders here. Our murder rate here has almost doubled. We went from having maybe 120 murders in a year to having 220 murders in a year. Close to that 200 mark. In murders. And for a city of just 1 million people, it's almost murder capital of the U.S. type of numbers. So it's really ridiculous here. I mean, it's ridiculous everywhere. And it's dangerous for people, man. So all I can tell people, man, is if you believe in God, man, pray. If you got something to protect yourself with, protect yourself. And just find something to keep yourself busy, man. Other than, trying to take something for somebody or trying to do something evil, man. Try to find something positive to do, man. Let's move on, man. I had to get out of here. It's been 2 hours, man. Y'all... I was only planning on being on here for like 30 minutes. But you guys lock me in every time. I appreciate that though, man. Y'all make me do it, man. Y'all make me get on here and do what I'm supposed to do. So I appreciate that. Adam M. I'm alright, Manny. Pacquiao. My bad. I've been skipping you because you've been real silly. Go to the Philippines and eat my favorite food. Try paga paga. I don't know about trying that one, man. But I would never want to go over nobody's house and be disrespectful to, when they trying to be hospitable. So how would y'all handle it if y'all went over somebody's house and, all they had to offer you was some re-served garbage? How would you even approach the situation? Would you indulge it, or would you, it would be really disrespectful for you to turn down the only thing they had to offer to you, man. It's not really not a joke or anything to laugh about, man. If people seriously have to survive like that, it's really not even funny, bro. I know you just try and be silly about it, but it's horrible if people have to survive like that, man. Adam M. Pac doesn't need to fight both Spence or Bud. Should be enough for his legacy since he already beat Thurman. I mean, it's definitely enough, but he brought it up. That's the problem. He should. That's why I say he should have never said anything. He should just waited for his next fight to be announced, and then started dropping comments about what his future is, because you kind of build people's hopes up, and then when stuff can't come to fruition, it makes you look a little silly. For saying anything. So sometimes silence is power. Sometimes it's better just to not say anything. I just really wish he wouldn't have said the stuff about. If it turns out to be Mikey, all the stuff he said about legacy is gonna get. I mean, they're gonna eat it up, man. The haters are gonna eat it up. Imagine if he beats both Spence and Bud. Crawford, Gadanga, strong GOAT argument is his case. Listen, if he beats both of those guys, he's officially the best boxer ever. There's no doubt in my mind, because he would have beat everybody from all the greatest fighters from 90 up to 20 to the 2020s. So, that's like 4 or 5. That's 4 decades worth of championship whoopings he's been putting on people. So I have no problem in saying even if he just beats one of those guys, I would have no problem saying he's the best fighter, not only of this generation, but ever. And I'm saying ever. He needs to be in that talk of best fighter ever. He's already in that conversation, but if he pulls either one of those fights off, there's no doubt that he's the best fighter ever. Everybody's laughing at Manny. Man, you can't put the cuss words in the chat, bro. But I'm gonna finish these last comments, man, and I'm out of here. Adam M, man, y'all keep dropping these comments. Adam M, man, I actually read the trolling for laughs, but don't overdo it to the point where I want to block you because it's just spamming at that point. But that's true, man. You know, some of it's funny. And I don't mind you being funny, but you know, you don't gotta be every other comment. You add something to the conversation, man. I love pony rights. Oh man, I'm not gonna block him either because I actually he doesn't see. That's the thing about trolls; they don't actually realize the more you comment, the more comments I have on a video, it helps the algorithm. So actually, trolls are a good thing because they're only gonna help me get shared out more. The more he comments, if I end up with 1,000 comments on this video, it actually triggers something in the algorithm. So he's not doing anything but helping. But it kind of messes up the chat a little bit because I gotta skip over his comments to get to the actual comments of people who's trying to contribute to the chat. So I agree with you there, Adam M. Fine. What if Pacquiao didn't turn into politics and just dedicated all his time and energy into boxing like Kobe did to basketball? Would he have transcended himself? You know, it's an interesting question. I think if he wouldn't have turned to politics, he might still be knocking everybody out. I think because he did turn to politics, you know, he's become so much more compassionate. He just doesn't want to knock people out anymore. You know, he doesn't want to completely destroy people in the way he destroyed Margarito and Miguel Cotto. So I think that plays a role, and I definitely think it plays a role in what we could have saw, you know, because if he wasn't doing politics, he definitely would have been fighting over this past year and a half, 2 years. And there's no telling the fights we might have actually got to see already up until this point. So if he wouldn't have got into politics, I think politics it kind of hurt him in a way, but you know, I think it's going to end up helping his people. So he got into politics for a reason, and it had nothing to do with boxing. He got into politics because he really cares about the people of the Philippines, like Muhammad Ali. That's why I compare him to Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali made the ultimate sacrifice for black people. And I don't think he gets enough credit because people, they say, well, Ali came back and he got beat and he lost. Ali only lost because he had to take so much time away from the sport. And if he would have been, like he said, if he wouldn't have had to dedicate all that time to defending himself and his freedom, he would have been training that whole time to where he wasn't training. And when he did actually get reinstated, he came back and wasn't in the same shape that he was when he left the sport. So similar to what he's saying about Pacquiao and politics, it's the same reason that, you know, that it hurt Ali's career, but he ended up, you know, coming back and becoming champion again. But there's no telling what we would have saw if they hadn't stolen those golden years from Muhammad Ali. He might have actually never lost a fight. He might have built himself up to the point where he never lost a fight. He might be TBE actually, which he already is, but he would have been TBE of that day because he might have had an O his whole career, you know, but he got sidelined due to politics and not being a politician, but politics of the world. So that's the reason I compare both of those guys together. Let me get through the rest of these comments, man. I ain't get out of here. We're going on 3 hours, man. Adam M, just think about this, though. You see guys in the U.S. get popped for PEDs, but show somehow they... The guy who barely knows how to speak English was smart enough to evade popping positive. Wow. You know, listen, I don't think Pacquiao ever took steroids personally. if Alex Ariza did slip something on him, and I'm not even saying allegedly because nobody's even accused him of that, but I wouldn't have put it past Alex Ariza to have been slipping something in Pacquiao's protein shakes or whatever. That could have happened. But like he said, he never popped for anything. He sued Mayweather. He won. Mayweather had to pay him money, and he won in court. So, it is funny in a way that, the people who accuse are really the ones normally that are doing the stuff, trying to take the attention off themselves to put it on somebody else. So, it is kind of funny in a way. Yeah, troops on the street corners. That's crazy. I don't even want to get back into that conversation, man. We had troops here a couple of months ago because of the whole, racist cop situation and Breonna Taylor and everything. You can go check out my videos, man. I got some videos of that, man, if y'all want to go back and check those out. So let me finish this chat up, man. I'm hungry, man. Alvin, what's good with you, Alvin, man? I ain't seen you in the chat today. You predicted in your video, your other video, Manny knocked out Mikey. What round knockout win? I think it would be early. If they do fight, I think he would actually knock him out early. If he can land one of those big punches like he landed on Thurman, third, fourth round, we could see Mikey Garcia getting floored. And especially a weight drain Mikey Garcia. It could get real. But, I guess that's a good thing for Pacquiao. That's the only good thing that would come out of that fight. And I've said that before, is it could potentially be an easy knockout for Manny Pacquiao. So he would return and get a knockout victory and look good by beating up a taco. But other than that, hey, he's fighting Taco Garcia. Maybe he's fighting Taco Garcia. We don't know yet. Hopefully we don't get that fight and we don't have to talk about it anymore. But it could possibly happen. Adam M, he got everybody in here rolling, man. He's clogging the chat up too, but I appreciate him for clogging the chat up. Peter, the Philippines have a lot of volcanoes and earthquakes. I didn't know that. Interesting. Manuel Morrow, kick this annoying poser. I don't want to kick him, man, because he's helping the algorithm, even though it's some stupid stuff. But I'm not gonna kick him. If he wants to keep doing that, hey, get me all the way up to 1 million in the chat. They ain't doing nothing but helping. He is clogging things up a little bit though. Adam, his head didn't grow. It's always been huge. Asians have big heads. Bob QQ, everybody ducking red, even Bob Arum, Al Heyman, and Freddie Roach all ducking red. They don't want none of this, man. They don't want to come over here and have no convo with me. I chew them up, man. All of them. Except for Freddie Roach. I ain't got no problem with Roach. Pac. Alright, time to smoke someone. So, hey, go do your thing, Pac, man. You should already been doing your thing, man. Enjoying. The other day you said you was on 10 G's, man. So I'm surprised you even awake. Tang Nugayan. You know what else makes your head grow? Being 100 pounds and 18 years old, and being 150 pounds a decade. Oh, man, that's funny. Alright, let me finish this chat up, man. Bye, Q. Finally, from Red, final form from Red. I can't even get it out. Final form Red, the strongest, man. I appreciate you, bro. Good content, Red. I appreciate that, Peter, man. I appreciate you, bro. Guerrero De La Fano, Cardinal Red does it all, man. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, how y'all want me to do this whole little competition for the t-shirts, man? What we gonna do? to give away a T-shirt? Should I just pick somebody random and give it to them? Or do y'all want to have some type of competition? That'll be the last thing I'm going to ask y'all, and I'm out of here. For a T-shirt and a potential hoodie. Do y'all even want one? Y'all might not even want one. Y'all might not like my designs. Alright, man. Gerda the Final says, haters hold Manny to higher standards than their favorite fighters. Exactly. This is why he could possibly get chewed up, man, when it comes to this whole Mikey Garcia situation. Do you watch UFC, bro? Not really, man. Vaughn, not really. Not unless it's a big. And I not to hate on the UFC, but those fights be so fast and fighters come and go so much. I can't really keep up with it. It's hard enough to keep up with boxing sometimes. Because I don't just like one sport. I really like boxing. I like basketball. I fish. I do a lot of stuff. So, it's hard to just try to keep up with everything, man. And those guys in UFC, they come and go so fast. I don't even want to invest time in it. I used to watch it a lot back when it first started, and Ken Shamrock and what's the other guy's name? I can't remember his name, but when Shamrock was fighting, and it was some other guys that I used to follow real close in UFC. And then I kind of got away from it when Kimbo got his butt whooped. I think that was the last UFC fight I really watched, besides some of the McGregor fights. Was Kimbo, and then Kimbo passed. So Peter Pacquiao is a legend. He's already a legend, man. No doubt about it. Bond Q, exactly, Red. That's why Ali Mayweather. Ali's is by far what ranked way higher than Floyd Mayweather ever will be, and Manny Pacquiao is too. But a lot of people just won't admit it. But if he pulls either one of these fights off, it's gonna be hard for people to argue that Manny Pacquiao is a better fighter than Floyd Mayweather. Adam M. Vine 9 Word. I appreciate that, bro. Alvarez says, Holyfield says Manny win versus Mayweather Jr. Floyd's good in defense, but not aggressive almost the entire fight. And I got ants all over the place in here for some reason. Where's this ant coming from? I don't know where this little guy came from, but he was all over the place. I just crushed his little butt, though. Sorry, little buddy. Bond Q. Ali would have been undefeated, too, but they took his belts and long layoff from the sport factored into everything. Exactly, man. He would have been undefeated. I believe he would have been undefeated if it didn't play out in that way. But unfortunately, it did. And I hate when people talk bad about Ali and him having losses, because they don't never actually talk about why he has losses or what happened during the time that he was forced to take off. And they never mentioned that he was forced to take off, and that they stripped him of his titles and basically stole, I think, like 2, maybe 3 years of boxing from him. Which would have been those would have been his prime. He wasn't even in his prime yet. He would have been in his prime those years that they took from him. So, it's crazy. Adam M. Manny beat Floyd. Straight up. He won that fight, man. But nobody, other than Pacquiao fans and Holyfield, nobody else in the world is going to admit it, because they probably won a lot of money off that fight. A lot of people won a lot of money off that fight. Vine, Ali is a legend. Nobody like him. A lot of people love Ali. Most people love Ali. There's some haters out there. I don't understand why the Floyd Mayweather fans go at Ali. I don't understand what Ali ever did to Floyd Mayweather, or why they sometimes choose to attack Ali. But It is what it is. I think it's because they know his legacy is greater than. I think Mayweather fans are very jealous of other fighters, and certain boxing fans in general. They're jealous that their favorite fighter isn't as popular as Muhammad Ali or Manny Pacquiao or some of these other guys. And the only way for them to justify that is to attack those guys and their legacies. I don't want to attack nobody's legacy for real. I don't even want to attack Mayweather's legacy, but I know what he's done to the sport, and a lot of it's been bad. So you can't deny what he's done to the sport. And because of that, I'm gonna talk about it. If they can choose to tear down somebody like Muhammad Ali, well, I'm not trying to tear down Mayweather. I'm just pointing out the obvious. I'll point out the obvious. I ain't gonna tear him down, but I will point out the obvious. All right, I'm gonna finish up here, man. We out of here. Lost myself. Manny won. He was robbed by Floyd. Delafano says, after the court case, Floyd never again accused Pacquiao. I don't think he'll ever accuse anybody of steroids ever again. And then he almost, and then he went through his situation. So it's crazy. Sometimes you show your hand, do you think Marquez did juice? I mean, he hired Memo. I think by that time it was the cat was already out of the bag. So if he did juice, I think he would have got caught. Maybe Memo might know more about other things that are untraceable though. So he might have possibly been on something else that's untraceable. But we can't say he was juicing because he didn't get caught for juicing. So. Alvarez says, I need to be honest with you. Manny never used performance enhancing drugs. Manny drank USANA supplement. Watch YouTube video. Bradley drinks USANA supplement. Are you talking about urine or pee-pee? Is that what you mean? Because I've seen the video of Marquez drinking his own pee, but I'm not sure about that USANA supplement. And I highly doubt Bradley was on anything because Bradley's a vegan. Bradley takes his health very, very seriously. So most of Bradley's physique is all natural. He's a vegan. So there's a lot of stuff he can't take based off the fact that he's a vegan, and a lot of stuff is based in animal protein. So I would never say Bradley was on anything. He was like the Hulk. Y'all gotta go look into why Bradley actually looked like. I talked about that a few streams ago, and Bradley's physique and him able to achieve all this using a vegan diet. I know some people will say that's impossible and he has to be juicing, but listen, we've come a long way, man, as people and human beings, and people have found ways to get strong without using steroids. You don't always need steroids. That's not always the ending factor in the why you look ripped or you're muscular. And I would definitely say whatever he was doing, it had to do with hard work and eating right. Because if you look at him now, he's actually ballooned up to probably like 180 pounds or 170 pounds. He's huge now. So he's definitely been eating. He doesn't miss a meal, So I wouldn't say Bradley was juicing at all, or Marquez. I ain't going down that road. Manny is tired around 12 versus Thurman it's facts. Manny never used performance enhancing drugs. Bond Q Red got vampire teeth. Red dragon. My teeth are actually like this because I guess I can share a personal story. If you're wondering why my teeth were like this, they actually wasn't like this before. Then I lost myself in the chat. Every time I move it like disappears. But okay. If you wonder why my teeth are like this, so I had a grill when I was younger, and I had a gold grill, before all my teeth were fully formed, like at a real young age. Might have been like 16, 17, something like 15. I was like 15, 16. So all my teeth were gold, and I have an extra tooth. So my teeth actually shifted when I turned like 17, 18. They started shifting, and they were shifting because of the grill. And the grill, like, I had one that was like a rounded grill, so it shifted my teeth in one direction. Then I got another one that was a more solid grill, and it shifted them in a different direction. So the last one I had, when it shifted them, and then I stopped wearing it, they kept shifting in the direction that the grill was shifting them to. That's why those Invisalign things actually work. A grill is basically an Invisalign. And then whatever the shape of that grill is the shape your teeth are going to take on. So remember that if you ever decide to get a grill at a young age. Your body's not fully formed till you're 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. So I got a grill at like 15. I had gold, like 8 golds. I wish I had pictures of that. So if you ever wondering why my teeth do look, that's why. I can go get it fixed easily. I can go get a Invisalign. I get the tooth pulled, or just get a grill. I can get a grill and straighten them out. But hey, it is what it is. I don't care. I've been looking like this, for like a while now. So it doesn't bother me anymore. Alrighty. So that explains the Dracula comment. Alrighty. I keep losing myself. Trying to get this over with, but I keep losing myself. I'm gonna hit everybody's comment. James Tucker, Trill done acquired rap versus. Are you serious? The Trill Entertainment that put on that weird fight with Tyson and them. They actually brought the versus rap battles. Please do not read Manny Pacquiao. He says it's nonsense. I read some of the stuff at the beginning because it was funny, but he's just like clogging up the chat now. And I don't mind because, like I said, the more comments I get, I just get pushed up further in the algorithm. So he can keep doing it all night long if he wants to. It don't really bother me that much. All right, I think we finally made it to the end. All right, man. So we got 17 people in here, man. If y'all haven't packed out the like button for me, please do. Definitely, man. Pac Bradley is vegan. That's why he is so damn emotional too. Laugh my yeah, he's vegan. And I don't think a lot of people knew that, but he achieved that physique with a vegan diet, which is something I've done. I've tried. I didn't go full vegan, but I went plant based. And it was hard to maintain a body weight. It was because I want to be around 150, but it's hard to hit that because you got to eat so much vegetation in a 24-hour period to hit a caloric surplus, and it's really hard to do that, man, on a vegan diet. But this man's a millionaire, so he has chefs preparing him certain stuff. So he's never going to miss a meal because those people are preparing it for him, where I had to go do all that, have a real life, and try to do all that myself at the same. It's almost impossible for a normal person to do that. Not to say it couldn't be done. It takes a real disciplined person to pull that off. And that's really one of the reasons I admire Tim Bradley. I really like Tim Bradley for that. Vaughn, you should do a decision with Punch Drunk box, a discussion with Punch Drunk. I doubt he would do that, man. I doubt he would do that. Those guys have way more followers than I have, so they're never gonna reach back to a smaller channel and try to, especially if somebody has a a argument that might supersede theirs. They're never gonna. They would never actually debate. I don't see a lot of people trying to debate me on Pacquiao. It's just not gonna happen. Which is why I would rather just bring people on to have good opinions, and we can talk to each other and have a good conversation. I don't want me trying to go up against another big. That's not gonna happen. None of those big channels are ever gonna entertain trying to go up against a smaller channel that might have a better opinion about a certain person than they do, because it's gonna make them look foolish. Now they might do that with a bigger channel because they have something to gain from it. They can gain a bigger audience, but most of the people that subscribe to me are probably already subscribed to them, so they ain't got nothing to gain with trying to go up in a debate with me about anything. And then they might lose, so it would make them look real foolish at the end of the day to to try to do that. Peter says, good show. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you for coming through. Brian Q. Red, you could have been the next star talent in boxing. Listen, I think if I wanted to box, I could still box. I'm not like at the age where I couldn't. It'd probably be hard to because they want you to do a certain amount of amateur fights first. So, I guess, I mean, if I had a promoter or something who believed in put some money up, I could jump straight into the professional ranks. But it would take for somebody to put some money up or me to invest in myself. And there's really no boxing scene in Louisville like that. There's some new guys that I featured these guys on my channel. He's actually the Golden Globe champion from Louisville. I featured him on my channel once or twice before. So if y'all want to check the best fighters out in Louisville, y'all find those videos. They on her. I might go interview him again. The gym that he works out at is like right around the corner from my house. I just don't always have time to go over. And those guys wanted me to come back and be and feature them more. I just haven't had a chance to get back over there. So he just had a fight recently too. I need to find out if he won. It wasn't in Louisville. I don't know why it wasn't in Louisville. It was in one of the counties, so I ain't actually go watch it. I probably should have covered it though. But if we can get more fights here in town, I definitely will. Everything's been closed down, so the places that they can have fights here, they're not even doing them. And we do have there's an amateur scene here. It's not real big yet, but there is an amateur scene here. I'm not gonna lie about it, and it's actually right up the street from my house. But with the crisis going on in the world, they haven't been hosting fights. So hopefully they'll get back to that this summer. And since it is right up the street, I might go check a few of them out. If things do open back up in May, I might start going back out and trying to interview those guys over at the gym, and then trying to do these amateur fights up the street. If y'all watch it, then if y'all at least click on it, because the problem is with doing other stuff and bringing stuff to the channel is people don't click on it. So it's almost a waste of my time for me to invest 4 hours into editing and putting something together that nobody's gonna look at. So it's all gonna depend on if people watch it. Leo, what's good with you, bro? Appreciate you for stopping by, man. Ain't seen you all day. Hey, bro, Mikey said he'll bet $2 million to beat Pacquiao. He gonna lose every penny of that money. Really give it a try. He loves Pac too. I don't know what you mean by that. Buying Timothy Hercules Bradley. Straight up, man. He did look like Hercules, man, at one point. It was ridiculous. His physique was ridiculous. But it just goes to show you can have all the muscles in the world. He still couldn't beat Pacquiao. And he had all the muscles in the world. Alright, man. This is the last couple of comments and I'm out of here, bro. If y'all got anything else important y'all want to say, go on and get it out, man, because I got to roll. Been almost 3 hours. I was worried for Bradley when he fought Provodnikov. That Siberian could have hit. Man, that was one of the best fights I've seen in the last in the last 10 years. That's in my top 5 fights of the last 10 years. Is the Bradley Provatnikov fight. It was amazing. It was amazing, man. To see those guys just like that's throwback boxing right there, toe to toe. Now a lot of people say it's dangerous boxing because you can hurt yourself really bad, but this is what people want to see. It's the same way that people in the MMA want to see great fights. Provatnikov Bradley was an amazing fight, man. And I don't do nothing but tip my hat. I'm sorry, Ruslan. I hate that Ruslan had to retire because I really like Ruslan. I really like watching his fights. And, I think that fight ended, it cut his career short and it cut Bradley's career short. But they gave something to the fans, man, that was spectacular. And it's one to remember. If you haven't watched that fight, you need to, if you're a boxing fan, you need to watch that fight if you haven't. Go watch that fight tonight, man. I might actually get off here and go make me something to eat and go watch that fight myself, man, because it was a great one. That fight, best fights of the past 10 years. That fight, I would say Pacquiao and Marquez, even though he got knocked out, it was an awesome fight up until that point. And it was even awesome for Marquez because he won, for him, even though I'm a Pacquiao fan, it was still a great fight. The Teofimo Lopez Vasil fight was good, but I like Tank's fight with God, what's his name? With the guy he just knocked out, I can't remember his name, but that was a good fight. I really like that fight. It's been some great fights, but when it comes to top 5 fights, that Provatnikov Bradley fight's in my top 5. I don't know who else I would put in there right now, but definitely that Provatnikov fight. That was a heck of a fight, man. That was a war. I think Bradley got a gift on that fight. I do too. I actually think Ruslan should have won that fight. There was another fight that I watched. It might have been Ruslan Provatnikov again. He went to war with somebody else, but I can't remember who he was fighting. But definitely that Ruslan Bradley fight, man. If you haven't watched it, go watch that fight, man. Immediately. As soon as I get off here, go watch that fight. Bon Q, even Floyd said Bradley too strong. That's why he never fought him. It is interesting that he never fought Bradley. It would have been a pretty interesting fight to watch. Actually would have loved to see Pacquiao and Ruslan get along. And I don't think Ruslan would have fought Pacquiao. I think they had some type of friendship, or they might have sparred each other or something before, and they just decided not to fight each other. But that was a fight Bob Arum wanted to make, but just never made it. Would have been a crazy. I don't know how that fight would have turned out. Because Pacquiao was technically still in his prime around that time. This is around like 2013, 2014, somewhere around then. So it would have been Pacquiao Provatnikov would have been an insane fight, though. All right, y'all. I was referring to you having a discussion with. Okay, a discussion would be decent, but I still don't think he would do it. I don't think he would be because I don't. My subscribers are not around their subscriber numbers, so I don't think he would even be open to a discussion. To be honest with you. And then I'm not in their whole little clique, they little LDBC thingy or whatever it is that y'all said that they call themselves. So I didn't big them up. I don't really big those guys up. They have no reason to ever want to collaborate with me. I don't really care personally. I got to collabo with the people I wanted to collabo with so far. I got to, I got to collab with Caps. I've done some stuff with another female YouTuber. And she's really cool, man. Her channel, y'all should go check out her channel as well. And she's really cool, man. I wish she would have done. I wish I could actually collab more with her. But she's really busy, so she hasn't really been on YouTube here lately. But you know, she has a really cool event, and to not be a hardcore boxing fan, she has a real cool opinion about boxing. So I would like to, collab more with her, but it is what it is, man. You know, the people who want to collab with you, they reach out to you. The people who you might want to collab with, they're not always going to work with you based off subscriber numbers. So either I got to get my count up, or I just won't be working with people. I don't really care. At the end of the day, they got their opinions, I got mine. Let me see. Timothy could fight at middleweight. He probably could fight at middleweight. He's kind of short though to be trying to venture off in the middleweight, but I think he could bang with some of them middleweights, depending on who he was fighting. Orlito says Pavatnikov is also wired, but he's tough. Weird, but he's tough. PAC says Nonito versus Monster is crazy good too. I'm gonna have to watch that one. I never seen that one. Ruslan was with Roach at the time. That might be why they never fought. I think that might be why that they didn't fight. It was something to do with they had a friendship, or they sparred each other, or some reason that they wasn't gonna fight each other. But I think that would have been an insane fight if it did happen. Bad Tito, what's good, man? Ain't seen y'all all day. What's up, Red? What's good with y'all? Bonq, Felix Trinidad 100% would beat Mayweather, but Floyd ducked him. He also one of the strongest welterweights. Trinidad would have been a dope fight for Mayweather. I feel like if Corrales would have got a rematch, I think he would have beat Mayweather. Because I think Mayweather beat him in the first one, and then Corrales passed away. So I actually think Diego Corrales really would have gave Mayweather a loss if he actually got a rematch. Would Mayweather have actually gave him a rematch? I doubt it. But I think Diego Corrales had the skills to beat Mayweather. Definitely. I think Felix Trinidad probably could have beat him too. Bad Tito, I bet you would, Red. Reach out to Thunderdome Boxing, BDA Boxing, and Fight Film. I never heard of the last two. I know Thunderdome. I know I talked to Anthony before. Anthony's cool. I follow Anthony for years, man. To be honest with you, I never actually conversated with him about trying to work together. I know him and Caps and Full G have been live together. But I never reached out to him about trying to, collab or anything. But maybe I will. Maybe I don't know. But those other two, I have to check out their channels, man. I definitely will check them out, though. Yeah, Lafano, a lot of their listeners will subscribe to you. I don't really care about the subscribers numbers, man, at this point. I've done this so long that it's just fun having a conversation at this point. So, if the subscribers come, they come. If not, we all just have a friendly conversation with each other when we all have the time. But I think it's going to be the last one right here. Looking forward to Chocolatito and Estrada. Definitely, man. I saw that the other day. And I haven't saw Chocolatito fight live yet, so I definitely would. When do they fight, man? Let that be the last question. But y'all never answered me, man. How do y'all want to go about this T-shirt, hoodie situation? Y'all want to have a giveaway? I should just pick somebody. Let me know, and see if y'all can give me the 23 likes before I get out of here, man. I'm gonna wait about 2 more minutes, and I'm getting out of here, man. If y'all got any more questions or anything, throw them on in there. But I do want to see Chocolatito fight live. I never watched him fight live. I've seen some of his footage. Never watched him fight live, but a lot of people seem to like Chocolatito, so I I gotta check him out. Estrada, I've never seen Estrada, so I can't really speak on Estrada, but definitely a lot of people seem to like Chocolatito. Well, since everybody's getting ready to get out of here, it seems like people are leaving me. Goodbye, you guys. There's no more questions, man. I'm gonna let y'all, like we normally do, jam out to my big homie, man, Louis Keys. He's gone but never forgotten, bro. And I love sharing his music out there to the world. Since he can't do it himself anymore, definitely want to, I like jamming out to him, man. So I'll let y'all jam. If y'all ain't got nothing else to say, y'all jam out to Keys, man, for a few minutes. Try to give me the 23 likes if y'all can. If not, I appreciate the 22 I got, and I appreciate everybody for stopping by today. Looking forward to March 13th. Okay, so that's actually coming up this weekend. So, all right, man, I'm going to check that fight out. Y'all want me to cover that fight live? Y'all want to watch that fight live? I can't actually show the footage. I might be able to show, like, a piece of the screen, but I can't actually show the full footage because we definitely will get striked. But if y'all want to watch that fight live, man, if we can get to 25 likes right now, and or if somebody drops a comment in here and says, yeah, we would like to watch that fight live, I'll try my best to cover that fight live, and we can have a live conversation about that fight. But just let me know, man, and I'm about to get out of here, bro. I gotta eat something, man. I'm tired. It's getting late. It's time to go do late things. Like try to find a lady. Alright, man. I'm about to get out of here, man. It's like, what time is it? It's 12 o'clock, man. I gotta go, man. It's past y'all bedtime, man. Y'all kids should be in bed, man. Good show. Have a good night, brother. Appreciate that, Peter. Yeah, man. Great show. Thumbs up the video. Appreciate that, LaFano. So let me know, man. Y'all wanna if y'all wanna watch that live, man. PAC, laugh my. Y'all wanna watch that fight live, man? Let me know, man. Let me know before I get out of here. I don't wanna leave until y'all let me know. I definitely gotta make PAC, man. You're gonna end up being a moderator, man. So the next live chat that I have, I'm gonna make you, whenever you come in, I'm gonna make you a moderator. That way, if we have a problem like we did with the Pacroid guy again, you can just go ahead and I'll let you make the decision to booting people from now on. If you feel like somebody disrespecting the chat, I'm gonna make you a moderator. If Caps comes in, I'll make him a moderator. Bond Q, I'll make you a moderator, and Bad Tito, I go ahead and make you a moderator too, man. So if any of you guys are in the chat, if whoever pops up first, I'll go ahead and make y'all moderators, and that way y'all can control when guys are getting a little silly in the chat. Don't kick everybody out though, man. Don't kick everybody. Don't be so strict. Let them have a little bit of fun before you kick them out. Alright, man, we out of here, man. Y'all go ahead and jam out, man. I'm done. Yeah. Just let me know in the future, man, if y'all want to watch that. Leave me another comment or something if y'all want to watch that Chocolatito fight live, man. It's your boy Red, man. We are out of here, man. Y'all also got to get at me about these t-shirts and this hoodie, man. Let me know something, man. Necessary. You wait till the last minute. I'm just about to click the button. And you pop up. What's good, Necessary, man? We appreciate you for coming through. You heard it's never too late to come through. Holla at me. What's good with you, bro? Hope everything's good with you, man. Hope you're having a great day, bro. We had a pretty good conversation. Bond Q, Red, Necessary. I would watch it. Okay, we got one, so that's all we need. Y'all got me to 25 likes. So now I gotta come through. I probably should have left before I got there. Let's watch it. Okay, I got you, bro. We on that, man. So y'all go ahead and jam out to no problem, bro. I appreciate you for stopping by, man. Get here when you can get here. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate all the support. So we definitely will do that, man. We'll watch that We'll watch that fight live, man. We'll have a nice little conversation around that fight. And that'll be the first branch out we had in a while since I think the Broner fight. So definitely, man. I'm chilling, bro. I'm glad to hear that, bro. How are you doing? I'm living, man. I'm good, bro. Appreciate it, man. Living. Read his majesty. Oh man, I'm glad you still doing your shit. Oh no, it's not going nowhere, man. Not going nowhere for a while. Not at least until Pacquiao gone out. After that, we're gonna move on to something else. We always gonna be doing something, man. As long as y'all stick around, you're my top 3 for sure. I appreciate that, bro. Pacquiao is ducking Terence. How is fight? He's fighting Mikey. Sherwin Reyes. What's good with you, Sherwin, man? It's nothing's official yet, bro. But on that note, man, we're gonna get out of here. Maybe perhaps I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hopefully we got some good news, man. Hopefully everything goes alright, man. We can all tap in tomorrow, man. So y'all jam at the keys, man. We are out of here.
Louisville, home of the best scrapper, also home of the best rapper. Flow dapper, here's another chapter. Ride through, attack you, ride away your laughter. This is what I'm after, blowing on that rapper. Purple Dro, keep a bunch to blow. I don't serve it though, murder flow. If it goes down, I'm the first to know. Y'all niggas late, like the Conan show. Overdose, overload, sharp flow, leave him with the open throat. Lewis Keys, cool as Nova Scotia snow. Puff a blunt, poke a hole, nigga, you supposed to know. Lewis Keys, blowing blunts on the open road. Fuck a cop, fuck a speed limit, drive overdose. Keep a bad bitch, hips wide like Oprah's nose. And you know that I'm a fool, my freestyle's wet, I'm floating in the pool. You should pay your tuition, you're going to my school. Principal keys, you niggas getting held back. Fuck them little sacks, you can have your bread back. No refund, well here the G's come. Hit your ass up, leave you with your fucking head crack.
Louisville, Kentucky, 502. Louisville, Kentucky, 502. Louisville, Kentucky, 502. Louisville, Kentucky, 502. Louisville, Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, 502. Louisville, Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, 502.
Louisville, Kentucky, 502. That's where I'm from, player, how about you? I'm from the city where the hate is familiar. I'm from the city where the haters will kill ya. I'm from the city where they like to gamble. Dice game, get robbed, niggas to scramble. Head for the hills, nigga, duck and dive. No bullshit, no shuck and jive. I know a lot of guys got shot and died. A lot of good guys didn't see 25. Recognize it's a blessing being alive. Heading to the park, I'm on the passenger side. Like
Louisville, Kentucky, 502. Louisville, Kentucky, 502.
every night's game set. We ballin' like the playoff. We ballin' like the playoff. We ballin' like game set. Game set. Every day the Super Bowl. Every night's game set. We ballin' like the playoff. I walk in with my homie. Walk out with your baby mama's home key. I can tell she want it. Fat booty, so you know a nigga own it. I'm such a OG. Last time I checked, my verses were for OZ. In the street. Plus I got caught up with the beats. And I'm still spitting that heat. KY is in for a treat. The club looking for a freak. Hope they don't call the police. Every day the Super Bowl.
day's a Super Bowl. Every night's game 7. We ballin' like the playoffs. We ballin' like the playoffs. We ballin' like game 7. Game 7. Every day the Super Bowl.
She got bills to pay. She about to take you home, cause she got bills to pay. She about to let you fuck, cause she got bills to pay. She's about to set you up, cause she got bills to pay. And the whole team holler, cause she got bills to pay. Stealing out the other strippers' lockers, cause she got bills to pay. 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 Plug don't give a fuck if I got bills to pay. Judge don't give a fuck if I got bills to pay.
Keys.
Give it to me one more time.
Hey, you know my situation. You know I got a lot of niggas hating, a lot of niggas waiting to replace me, a lot of chickens chasing. They wanna taste it. I tell them face it. You other bitches basic compared to my lady. And sex game crazy, brain on lunatic. I ain't even doing shit. Chilling with my niggas, rolling up, getting blown. She hit my phone like, baby, come home. I'm coming now, I'll come again later. And you come in between, how you fit it in them jeans. Everybody so mean, but the smell so nice. Flow so mean, but the style so tight.
Oh my. Make me feel so right. Come and stay the night. Give it to me one more time.
Okay, I'm too high for words, too fly for birds. Telling mother pigeons, get to rock, kick, you not listening. Baby, stop tripping. They ain't on your level. One part of that are you missing? Look, I just wanna put the cuffs on you. Take you to the room, put the cuffs on you. I just wanna lick on you, touch on you. Keep talking that shit and I'ma bust on you. You know I got it like that though. Take her to the movies and go down in the back row. Shitting on them bitches, why you clown them like that for? She know she got it like that, so that's my baby.
Oh my. Make me feel so right. Come and stay the night. Give it to me one more time. Oh yeah.
They ain't fucking with me. 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 Everything
Everything I do dope. Everything I do clean. You say I ain't TKOB, what the fuck you mean? I come through clean. New debit card in my blue jeans. You been a good girl, you can